no better way to test yourself than getting in the ring and strapping them on and biting down on that mouthpiece and getting after it.
Absolutely. Like the great Mike Tyson said, huh? And we're going to see plenty of that tonight here. Like you said, we got the lightweight division coming off first. We got Sharquez Cox versus Zach Bean. Sharquez coming out of Columbus, hometown, Columbus, Mississippi. Says he's been training his whole life.
Fighting out a hood-connected gym.
Maybe had to stop through there and get some rounds in there tomorrow. Maybe they're sparring.
Get some sparring in.
A little sparring. He said the motivation for this event is to win this money. So that's another thing, Joe. What do they win? They make it to the finals or win the finals.
The winner of each bracket is going to get $1,500, and I think CPAC said any knockout is an extra $500 bonus.
Wow. So you could potentially make what, $2,500 here tonight, right?
Yeah, if you knock everybody out, then you end up winning your bracket. Yeah, you can take home a lot of money.
$3,000 actually. $3,000.
A little bit of pocket.
If you win by knockout, 3 rounds, 3 fights. So you start putting money on the line. That's when these guys are going to fight, right? So Sharquez is matched up to go against Zach the Bean, right?
Yes, sir. We got the fighter introduction going down right now, so we're going to leave it to the Crazy Cajun, the announcer for tonight.
Got Sharquez Cox coming in first. Like I said,
Mr. Taliban.
Mr. Taliban, 25 years old, weighing in at 140 pounds. Coming out of right here in Columbus, Mississippi, hometown. So, you got guys like that have a lot of fans in the crowd. Probably a good support system here, being as his hometown. You don't want to lose in front of your hometown, right?
Nah, you're going to show out in front of the hometown crowd. You probably got a lot of friends and family in here to watch and support you. That could be good or bad. Sometimes you get distracted, too much going on, people wanting to talk to you. Sometimes it's better just to go away somewhere, fight where you don't have a whole lot of people there. You don't have a whole lot of worries. You don't concern yourself too much about the result because you're just going to go in there and fight free. Zach Bean making the walk, weighed in at 165 pounds. Nicknamed the Bean, 32 years old, has a little amateur boxing experience.
Cutting table operator.
Cutting table operator.
Is that like a construction?
Not real sure.
He's
not
a
real
cut
sure.
man.
Limited.
He's a cut man.
I will say that this year for his taxes, he filed single and head of household. So,
so
he's actually
single.
coming to the ring in red Chuck Taylors.
And his motivation for competing in this event is also money, right? So he's
trying
to grab that $1,500.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we got going on here.
Both these guys got pretty good builds. Cox giving up about 15 pounds, and that's another thing you see in these slugfest or tough man type style fights.
Well, Bean's carrying a lot of muscle, around the chest area. Arms, you being a combat sports veteran, you kind of understand that
lactic acid build.
A lot of lactic
acid
takes a lot of
oxygen
building there, a lot of, and when they're working at such a high pace here, okay? So we're getting ready to kick this first fight off. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a good fight, good night of fights.
All right, we got to start
out.
off.
Both fights orthodox.
Bean circling. They're going right after it, man. They're going right after it. Bean adjusting his headgear. Slip. That's a slip. So Bean slips down.
Ref's going to have to jump in there early.
Oh, he's going
to be a little bit quicker.
He's giving him a count.
Well, when both knees touch the mat, you're a down fighter, so the count is right there. So right there,
forward.
Good. The ref did his job there, separate them. He should have given him a count there when fighters fall.
Good angle there by Cox. Right. So
Bean's going to have to set up a jab.
Yeah, he's got to get off.
He's trying to instead of just walking forward. He's trying to close distance, but just walking forward. He's got to throw some shots.
And Bean's kind of switching back and forth from that southpaw, orthodox.
These little Beans on the mat again, the third time in this round.
He's got to get his feet underneath him. He's just kind of rushing forward, and it's just not working out for him.
So in round one, my suggestion, Bean needs to start using that jab, set up some punches, set it, to close distance rather than just walking forward.
Well,
like we were keep the pace up. Doing well.
Well, like we were talking about, you know, with Bean carrying a lot of muscle, he looks very tense while he's throwing his punches, right? His arms and shoulders, he's keeping them very, very tense, very, very tight. And, you know, we're going to see if that pays off. Usually when you see something like that, that's not going to pay off in the second and third rounds.
Telegraphing a lot of his shots when he loads up like that. When you're tense, when you're not loose, your shoulders are selling everything. Cox is able to counter and throw a lot of heavy combos.
The thing about these tough man competitions, though, one punch can change it, right? And he is a big, strong man. So we'll see if that one shot, if he can land it, maybe change the pace of this fight and get Cox backing up.
Start of round 2. Coming forward. Cox in the blue corner. Bean in the red. Cox still teeing off on Bean here.
Bean's kind of just zombie
good angle
forward, right?
Pretty good angle there by Cox.
Yeah, Cox cut good angles in the first round, and that's kind of what you got to do with that guy that's coming straight forward, right? You gotta hit that angle and catch him when he's trying to adjust back and square back up.
Good right hand off the break by Cox.
Bean he doesn't look like he's very comfortable. Got his feet underneath him just yet.
Got a decent chin. I just think he's off balance. He's hitting some good shots. He's not he don't have a bad chin. He's just a little off balance with his footwork, crossing his feet a lot.
Yeah.
Trying to be on his toes, but crossing his feet a lot.
Cox has now switched to southpaw.
I'd like to see Cox set his punches up a little bit better. Instead of winging shots from his waist, he's trying to overload a little bit too much, looking for that knockout. He needs to just set it up and let it come.
Backs to orthodox now.
So Bean looking a little fatigued here.
Yeah, he looks tired.
At the end of round 2.
On his face. He's taking a lot of shots.
Yeah, Cox is definitely the fresher fighter going into round 3.
Well, I mean, you mentioned earlier in that second round about, Bean having a pretty good chin. And, we were already talking about, him carrying a lot of muscle. Another thing that would fatigue you is taking those shots, right?
Absolutely. Even if you're not taking them on the chin, just blocking, trying to defend, moving your head, having to stay on your toes and having to move your feet to try to evade your opponent, that's all going to be fatiguing on the body.
One thing Cox has done well is he's kept the pressure on, right? He hasn't given Bean time to get his feet set or adjust or even really breathe, right? And slow his breathing down and kind of slow down. So we'll see if Bean can turn it around here in the third round.
I would say for the rule set and the tournament base that we're watching tonight, Cox is fighting a pretty good fight, keeping a pace, like you said.
He looks fresh too. Good angle, making Bean miss there. He's kind of slowing down a little bit, maybe. And they're getting the first round jitters out too. You the first fight of the night. You know how it is. You've been there. Good right hand from Cox. Bean took it.
Able to stay on his feet.
Bean with a good right hand of his own, though. Bean with a good right hand of his own. Now Cox is seeing it coming.
With the pull, yeah. See if Cox keeps the pressure on. I think Cox is up 2 rounds right now.
For sure. Sometimes it's not good to land that big shot. Now you see Cox is kind of loading up that right hand. He landed clean on Bean, didn't put him down, but now he's almost trying to telegraph it a little bit, like he's trying to set that shot up, huh?
I think so. And Bean just holding his jab hand out there, and Cox runs into it there.
Yeah,
the final moments of the third round here.
By Cox, going back to that southpaw stance. All right,
not a bad first fight to get us going here at Possum Town Throwdown.
First fight, we're going to see what the judges think. What you think?
I think you're going to see the blue corner, Sharquez Cox, Mr. Taliban moving on to the next round.
I agree, Joe. Like I said, Cox fought a pretty good fight. You can see he was very fresh in the first and second round. He kind of started fatiguing a little bit in the third round. I think he was looking for that big shot.
We talk about pace, or we talk about having a fast pace or heavy pace, but as you get later on in these rounds, you're going to have to kind of pace yourself a little bit smarter. You have to time your shots a little bit better. Everybody's going to be fatigued towards the end of the night.
Yeah, we're going to go to the judges' decision, see what they got here. I think the hometown crowd would be disappointed if Cox didn't pull this one out. I think he won all 3 rounds.
Again, Possum Town Throwdown, Columbus, Mississippi. This is our first time being
Columbus
here.
Fairgrounds.
Columbus Fairgrounds. This is our first time being here, and this is really your first time getting a chance to call the fights. Usually you're behind the scenes, you're the matchmaker for Savage Fights. We're going to bring it back to the ring for the announcement.
Sharquez Cox announces the winner by unanimous decision there. Are you surprised, Joe?
No, I think, like I said, I think Cox definitely controlled the first 2 rounds. A little closer in the 3rd round. You've seen Bean coming to life a little bit more, but Cox definitely was your winner here.
That's the thing is, though, you know, these 1-minute rounds, like we were already talking about, you got 3 1-minute rounds to work. You don't have a filling out process, right? You got to jump right in there.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your second bout? Make some noise! Your second bout in the lightweight division. Fighting out of the blue corner, he is Pedro Maciel.
All right, moving on
Pedro Maciel. Got to pronounce that right?
Maciel?
El Toro. We're going to call him El Toro.
Let's call him Pepe El Toro. I like that
35
name
years
better.
old, out of Pontotoc, Mississippi.
Not far from here.
Says no real fighting, boxing, or training experience. He is a iron welder, married with 2 kids. Trying to have a little fun tonight and see how he does here at Possum Throwdown.
Right, that's exactly what you said. You're going to have some of these guys that just come here just to test themselves, right? You got to, he's an iron welder, so, you know, working man, you know, works with his hands, probably moving, blue collar, moving metal around all day, toting metal, probably pretty strong hand. He's 35 years old, you know, people say the old man strength, right?
Right.
All right, his opponent tonight is going to be Cole Sugar Moore, okay, coming in at 155. He's also from Columbus, Mississippi, another hometown guy, right? He's been training for 3 months, working down at Apex Ammunition. So a big shout out to Apex Ammunition. I'm sure he's got some guys here from his workplace supporting him. Giving up a little weight here, Cole Moore is.
So we see with these guys, El Toro taking on Sugar. Again, the first round bracket of the lightweight tournament here tonight at Possum Throwdown. First round is underway.
Touch of gloves, get us started here. El Toro starting off with
Good
a
overhand by El
good
Toro.
jab
And
to the
body
body.
work. Good body work, good hook.
Oh, he's
big
trying
overhand.
to set up that overhand right, and it lands right there on Cole. Cole's standing his ground, though.
Absolutely.
These guys, they
Better
got a little
footwork.
bit of experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got much better footwork here. Good jab there from Toro. Good right hand. He
Really
set up
landed that
right
overhand.
Oh, yeah. He's overwhelming Cole right now. Cole's doing a good job keeping his feet.
Oh, he ate that shot. It was a big overhand
shot.
right.
Good left hand there from Toro. Cole switching to southpaw here, leading with the jab.
He's got to get his left hand up. Whatever hand, he's got to block that overhand right. He's taking it. Damn
Good right hand. He's in the corner. He's going to give him the standing 8 count. Okay.
Good call by the
End of
ref there. Protect the fighters. Good call by the ref. He
took a lot of
several overhand rights there.
Unanswered.
Cole Moore.
Cole's doing a good job keeping his footing, though. He's, and you might see in the second round, Toro kind of looks fatigued here. So that's the end of the first round. Got to tip that to El Toro. I think he landed the bigger shots and did a very good job. Cole, tough kid. He's hanging in there, though. If you're Cole Moore's corner, what are you telling him right now?
If you're in the orthodox stance, keep that left hand up. If you're in the southpaw stance, well, again, keep the left hand up. He needs to, I would say, going to the southpaw and circling to his right is going to be a little bit better. That way he's not circling to the power hand of Pedro.
Yeah, he definitely got to keep that lead hand up. El Toro came out, he kind of jabbed to the body and instantly started throwing those overhand rights. He was very comfortable throwing them there. Cole still looks fresh, though. Toro's kind of got his hands on the ropes. Maybe we'll see a change of pace here in the second round.
I know we're early in the night, but I think you're seeing a guy in Pedro that, he's got a little bit of a game plan coming in. Obviously, he threw that overhand right several times in the first round.
His game plan might be to try to win that extra $500 that CPAC's giving out for a knockout right?
Be nice, $500 in the pocket.
He was very close. I think he was very close to landing that.
Body
throwing
shot.
Big shots. Good right hand again.
know,
Good right hand from Cole.
I think, too, when you got Pedro landing those right hands to the body and then following up with the overhand right.
Yeah, he's
setting it up.
He's lining up. If you look, Cole's got a lot of reddening, even to the body on his left side there.
He's definitely wearing a lot of damage on the right
hooks
side.
to the body.
Another good right hand.
And he is just
that might have been a little bit in the back of the head there.
He's clubbing it. He's clubbing it to the body, to the head. He's going to give him another standing 8 count here. El Toro.
Not going necessarily to his neutral corner.
He's getting a little advice.
So.
You know, and these guys got to figure it out. You know, they'll figure it out. But Cole, he's still hanging in there, but there's definitely a lot of reddening. Okay, we're fighting.
I think Pedro thought the fight was over. So into the second round here.
Okay, second round, of course.
He got Pedro up big by 2. Cole's going to have to get a finish in his third round.
Cole's doing a good job. He landed it. He's keeping his foot. He landed that big right hand. You know, but he's going to have to lead with something, lead with a jab to set that right hand up, right? Like you just said, he's got to put Toro down here in this third round.
Just be smart with your footwork. Circle away from that overhand right. Circle away from that right hand to the body. Circle properly. Use your footwork to evade. And again, like you said, set up your shots.
El Toro standing in the corner like he's ready to go. He's ready to go for this third round. That's what, you know, when you're cornering a guy and he don't want the stool there going out to the third round, that makes you feel good when you're a coach.
I think the way that El Toro is mixing up those overhand rights with that right hand to the body. I know he said he didn't really have a whole lot of experience, but he looks like he's got a little bit in there.
Here. Touch of gloves for the third round. Cole, you can already see he's kind of biting on those feints. You see both hands going out. He's backing up. Toro smells blood. Cole's still fighting back. He's not going down without a fight. Putting a lot of pressure in the corner.
Landing
the body shots. And Cole finally takes a knee. The ref's going to call that. That's going to be a TKO for Pepe El Toro. Moving on. And like you said, I think he had a really good game plan. You know, come out, land some heavy shots, and, you know, he really, you know, put the foot on the pedal when he smelled the blood in the water, right?
Yeah, he had Cole biting on all his feints. I think he hurt Cole early with those shots to the body. Then he started mixing it up with the head shots. So a big win for Pedro here in the first round of the lightweight bracket. Moving on to round number 2 later on tonight.
Pepe El Toro. And I think he's, you know, we still got 2 fights to go here in the lightweight division, but
so far I'm voting for Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro definitely, he showed that, you know, he's got some experience. You know, his footwork was very well and set up his shots very well. And like we said, he kind of conserved his energy until he knew he had his opponent hurt. Hats off to Cole, though. That was a good fight. He hung in there. He ate a lot of shots, and you know, he's definitely a tough kid.
And too, like if you're a coach of Cole Moore, what experience did he get? You know, he got a lot of good experience in there, and sometimes it's just all about, you know, getting in there, getting those ring jitters out. The more times you compete, the more relaxed you're going to get in there. So,
right, you got a guy that's only been boxing for 3 months, so, you know, he's going to take a lot from this and you know, and bring it back to his gym and you know, and use it as experience and hopefully learn from this experience. But he definitely has a bright future. Good footwork. Good footwork.
He had a guy with Pedro that might have sandbagged a little bit on the information that he gave us. Just my opinion. He put none available. He looked like he had a little bit of boxing experience in there.
He's one of the only guys I've seen so far with boxing shoes on. Real boxing shoes. So we got the third fight of the night here, taking place in the lightweight division. Who we got first?
Tobias Wilson, or Artesian Wilson.
Artesian. Not sure what that means. He said this is his second event, so we got another guy with a little bit of experience coming in, right? 150 pounds, kind of right there midway. You know, maybe has a little power, probably some speed to him with 150 pounds. Coming out, he got a good build to him. Good, long, lanky. Yeah.
Big for 150 pounds.
Yes,
big fighter for 150 pounds. We have Tobias Wilson fighting out the blue corner here. First round lightweight bracket.
Representing Columbia, Mississippi, another hometown guy, right?
Yep. He is an artist. His motivation for competing tonight is his art. So I believe he's going to be referring to his boxing or his fighting. You know, a lot of people say, hey, we go in here. We can kind of showcase ourselves, showcase your art.
The sweet science or martial arts. Looks like he's ready to go, bouncing around, looks loose, looks light on his feet. Who's his opponent? Who we got?
Austin Jordan coming in, 35 years old. A little bit of military experience and a military boxing background.
Sure what branch of the military? He didn't list what branch of the military he's in, but
thank you for your service.
Absolutely, thank you for your service, sir. Says he got some MMA experience as well.
His motivation is to see if he can still do it. So we're going to see how he does tonight.
35 years old. Sometimes that's what you think, right? You say
142 pounds.
One of the smaller guys we have in this lightweight division, or really the whole tournament.
Just about ready for round number one to get kicked off here.
I'm eager to see
Wilson versus Jordan.
You know, obviously we weren't here for the first event. He says it's his second event. You know, I be eager to see if he, carries that experience through this fight. You know, you get in this tournament format, and there's some strategy behind it. Touch of the gloves to get us started.
Both guys orthodox. Good straight punches by Wilson to get going.
Leading with that long jab, like we mentioned earlier. Real long guy. Absolutely. Hey, good circling. He's circling towards the power, though.
Jordan just can't get no shots off. Good long straight punches by Wilson.
Every time he gets close, man. Oh, put him down.
Jordan's down. Good clean knockdown, I thought. The ref calls it a slip, so we're going to keep going.
Good right hand there by Jordan. But he's eating that jab. He's hurt. He can't turn your head. You know as good as I do, Joe, you can't turn your head. You can't turn your back to your opponent, especially in boxing, right?
He's got to stay in there. And sometimes that headgear can get in the way.
Yeah,
he might have been turning to try to fix his headgear.
Oh, he just missed with the right hand there, and that was heavy if that would have landed.
Wilson's got a good skill set coming in tonight.
Wilson kind of that in and out, leading with the 1-2. Absolutely, he looks fresh, light on his feet, and he's kind of making Jordan fight at his pace, huh? He's hitting with that 1-2, making him back up, and Wilson just kind of staying loose, in and out. Not normally what you see in a tough man slugfest, but it works, right?
Yeah, he's using his genetic gift of length and reach, using his skill set, staying on his bicycle, staying on those straight punches, starting to sit down on that right hand, landing some good straight rights. Had Jordan kind of turning his head. I'm going to look for him to get the finish here in the second round.
Yeah, Jordan definitely. What the cornerman's telling Jordan here. I thought he was saying something there to the referee. He's got his hands up, Jordan just got to get going, and I think that's what we saw in these first three fights so far. You see one fighter really kind of imposing their will and not allowing the other guys to get their footing, and that's part of strategy too. You fight at your pace, whether it's a high pace or slow pace, long. He's coming out now. He's really putting the pace on here in the second round. Good straight, clean punches.
The referee's going to call it here. Early in the second round, you got Tobias Wilson getting the win over Austin Jordan. Jordan's tough. Good call by the ref. I think he was a little outmatched tonight by Wilson.
Well, like I said, when you're reffing and you've cornered guys before and been around the sport for a while, another thing you see is you just can't turn your back, and Jordan did that multiple times in this fight, and you just can't do that, right?
I think Jordan was a little upset by the stoppage, but it's the referee's job to stay in there, or while he's in there, to protect the fighters, and I think he did his job like he is supposed to. So kudos to the ref for stepping in and stopping that one again. Jordan was a little overmatched tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing Wilson later on as he moves on to the second round of this lightweight bracket. I'm going to be interested to see how he does later on tonight.
And hats off to Jordan. 35 years old, coming out here to test yourself, and definitely can't hang your head on that performance. He just didn't get comfortable. He just didn't get comfortable and just didn't get going.
I think we both know anytime you step in a cage, you step in a ring, got to give credit to anybody that's willing to go in there and put it all on the line.
Absolutely. So Tobias Wilson moving on to round 2 that we will see later on tonight. Coming up next, the last fight of the lightweight first round bracket. We got Dylan Shipton versus Valencia Collins.
So Dylan Shipton, you'll see familiar face. We actually seen him fight a few weeks ago down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Southern Hand Slugfest. So he's got some experience, right?
Shout out to Duran and the boys down there. They put on a great show. Very similar format to what we got going on tonight.
Absolutely, first class show there. You see Dylan Shipton coming in. He trains at Silverback MMA boxing. We've actually had some of their guys fight on Savage Fights. Brandon Shipton and the crew down there. I believe Brandon is Dylan's uncle. So you would assume that if he owns it, his uncle owns a gym, he's probably spent some time. Kind of grew up around the gym and things like that. So. First, before we got Dylan, we got Valencia Collins. D. Collins coming to the ring here.
Good build. Another kid with a good build. 165 pounds.
He looks
I think
loose.
that's the top.
Ready to go.
That's the top of the lightweight bracket, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. He came in
to
right at the
165
top. 165 pounds. He looks
big
loose.
for this weight class. Looks like he's going to move well.
He's definitely big for 165. Maybe could have cut a little bit of weight yesterday. The weigh-ins were yesterday. Kind of different from the Southern Hand Slugfest and maybe other tough bands where they gave him the opportunity to weigh in 4 hours in advance. There's a little strategy behind that as well, right, Joe?
Yeah, I like that. I think you can get more fighters in each bracket because you have some guys cutting down. Maybe they're right there at that 2 or 3, 4 or 5 pounds to making it to a lower class, and they're able to do so. So it makes for a more competitive fighting, in my opinion.
I think this is about to be a really good fight. We got Dylan Shipton coming out, the Asian sensation, 20 years old, 156 pounds from Pontotoc, Mississippi. And like you mentioned, we saw that the tough man experience that he has at Southern Hand Slugfest.
Tough kid.
But D. Collins looks like he's ready to fight. He looks like he's ready to bang. He looks loose. You like to see those fighters that are loose on their feet, light on their feet. Doesn't look like he's got a lot of pressure, a lot of tension on him. Like hometown guy, looks comfortable. Touch the gloves here for the first round.
It's like Asian sensation. Trying to touch gloves.
Heavy shot.
They're trading shots.
Yes, they are.
Right in the middle.
Good left hook to start the fight. Yeah, D. Collins is throwing those left hooks, but now Dylan's really getting that jab going, right?
I think Dylan's showing a little bit better footwork right now. I was expecting D to kind of be on his bicycle, very similar to the last fight that you've seen. And but he's just walking the Asian sensation forward down, throwing big shots.
Oh, good left hand from the Asian sensation. We're going to see if D can keep this pace. That's a hard pace. And like we said, the Asian sensation has that experience too.
Good right hand there by Collins. I think Collins needs to slow down a little bit, take a breath.
Good jab
move your
there
head,
from
move
Dylan.
your feet.
The first tie-up we've seen of the night.
Ref quickly to break them up. Getting back after it
Another
here.
good right hand. This is a very competitive round. This is one of the more competitive rounds we've seen so far tonight. Good left hook, right hand.
That last right might have hurt Shipton a little bit. He
looked a little
wobbly walking back to this corner.
Absolutely. Going to the corner here. See what Brandon tells. He's complaining of his headgear getting in his eyes, but D really put the foot on the gas pedal and really didn't let up, did he?
I didn't let up, but I'd like to see him set his shots up a little bit better instead of just walking forward. Use his footwork, use his range a little bit. He looks like the tall, rangier guy. I'd like to see him kind of use that gift, that genetic gift. Like I said, very similar to you seen in the fight before with Wilson. He was able to kind of use his straight punches and his footwork to really make a good showing. And I'd like to see D. Collins kind of do the same.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if it's noticeable on camera, but it looks like there's a larger difference in size than 9 pounds. I feel like D maybe a bigger fighter. Yeah, he's definitely the bigger guy, but he's kind of used that to knock Shipton off his base.
Round two, both fighters coming out orthodox. D showing big shots.
A little trip.
mix up there.
And got
Interested to see what the ref's going to call it. He calls it a slip. D kind of just went in and kind of just walked him down and kept walking forward, and they tripped up.
Well, you know, you get those bigger guys, they're just hard to move, right? You walk forward, it's like walking into a brick wall, and that's what he's doing right now. He's kind of knocking Dylan off his base, which is, you know, obviously all punches start from the ground up, and if you can't get your footing, then you're not going to have any power.
Punch to the back of the head there. I think D was looking at the ref. I don't know if the ref said something to him about throwing that shot there in the back of the head.
Backhand. Hitting with the backhand.
Good right
Dylan
hand there.
Really trying to hit that left hook. They both guys looked exhausted, but they really kept a very high pace here.
We got Shipton just kind of jumping forward with his shots. I think he needs to kind of sit back, punch his way in instead of just trying to dive in with his shots. You know, I think he needs to kind of sit back, punch his way in, get to the inside.
I think his biggest fight right now is with the tee. You know, Shipton looks extremely tired right now.
And that headgear, he's consistently complaining about the headgear, and that's not a comfortable thing to fight in. I hadn't fought in it a whole lot myself, but I know a little bit in training when I've used them. They're not real fun.
Yeah, it's part of it. You know, the commission obviously makes them wear headgear, being amateurs, and that's another thing that you got to get used to. But like I said, I just kind of go back to D. Collins being the bigger man, and you know, I've known my experience in fighting and sparring. You know, when you're coming forward, as Shipton is trying to do, and you're just trying to knock that guy off his base, it's just really hard to get your footing. You know, like I said, almost walking into a brick wall. You know.
Yeah. So we're getting ready for round 3 here. Final fight of our lightweight first round of our lightweight bracket.
D coming out with some heat.
He was for the finish here against Shipton.
Yes, left hand, right hand. Good
Shipton
angle by Dylan.
That's one thing I remember from the previous time we seen Dylan fight was his toughness and his durability, his grittiness. He's going to stay in a fight the whole time. So
he's cutting good angles, you know, and that's really what he needed to do is
he's making this fight a lot closer than what you would think just looking at their physical statures, in my opinion.
Good jab to the body by Shipton, but he turns his head
like that.
He's exhausted, man. He's exhausted. He's taking a lot of big, heavy shots, and you're going to see D. Collins, you know, kind of wearing a fatigue.
Throwing a lot slower
hands
shots.
around his waist.
If one of these guys was able to kind of put the foot on the gas, I think they could finish the other.
Oh, good shot.
What a way to end this.
He's got him tied up. The crowd kind of going wild here for these guys. You know, good high-paced fight here. This is what you want to see in a slugfest, right?
Good fight there to end our lightweight first-round bracket.
Absolutely. Both these guys fought their hearts out. You know, the crowd giving them a good hand here. The Columbus crowd here at the Columbus Fairgrounds. You know, this is what they paid to see.
I still think D. Collins did enough to get the win.
Yeah, hats off to Dylan Shipton. You know, if he doesn't get the nod, you know, he hung in there, and he actually had a chance to maybe put D down in that third round. You know, he kind of Homer Simpson him a little bit, you know, if kind of say, you know, D kind of punched himself out a little bit.
We referred to the grittiness and toughness of Dylan Shipton. It was definitely displayed tonight. He was never out of that fight for sure.
Yeah, definitely, you know, with his Uncle Brandon in the corner, you know, he's definitely got to be proud of his performance. You know, something that he can grow from and learn from. I think we're going to get D. Collins here by unanimous decision, but we'll see what the judges think. Yes, sir. Valencia Collins moves on to round number 2.
So your final fighter to move on to the second round of the lightweight bracket, D. Collins, fighting out of the blue corner.
So we got Sharquez Cox, Pedro Maciel, Tobias Wilson, and Valencia Collins all moving forward into the second round, which we'll see later on tonight.
So up next, I think we're going to move forward with the middleweight bracket. Eight more fighters looking to compete for that $1,500, that possible $500 knockout bonus. Let me see how the middleweights do. It looks like we got Jamal Roby versus Pascal Williams in our first fight.
Yes, Jamal Roby versus Pascal Williams.
So let's talk a little bit about this middleweight bracket before we get going. Jamal Roby, we kind of mentioned him earlier. Coming in, had a great showing against on the Southern Slugfest there on the Gulf Coast a couple weeks ago. So we were both.
And we jumping right into the middleweight division here with Pascal Williams versus Jamal Roby.
As I mentioned earlier, Jamal Roby, one of those fighters that we got a chance to see fight and compete on the Southern Hand Slugfest a few weeks ago on the Gulf Coast and made a great showing. I think he made it to the finals. We left a little early, so I don't think he won it. I think he made it to the finals and was edged out. But Jamal Roby always makes a good showing, and I will say this, I think Jamal Roby, he's going to be my dark horse to win this.
Yeah, Pat Williams coming out first. Four-way Pat, is that what it says? Is his nickname?
Yeah, I believe it's four-way Pat. Jamal, No Limit Roby, 29 years old.
Pat's going to be giving up a little bit of weight here.
A little bit of amateur boxing experience for Roby.
Fireman, Starkville fireman.
Fighting out of HM Boxing or Grenada, Mississippi. Married with 3 kids. Again, he always puts on a good show. His motivation for coming out, I thought it was pretty cool what he put down there to show others to believe in your dreams. So I thought that was pretty motivating, pretty cool reason.
Yeah, I got to
show up tonight and compete.
I got the chance to talk to Roe a little bit before the event. You know, got to corner him down there at Southern Hand Slugfest, and got a chance to talk to him a little bit more today. And he said he started boxing when he was 12 years old, watching YouTube videos. Said he was getting bullied. Said he was tired of getting bullied. You know, I guess he put some weight on, 195 pounds. I don't know who's going to bully a 195-pound man, but they must grow him a little bit different over here in Eupora.
And I don't know if it's a misprint, but you got Pascal Williams, 168 pounds.
I'm not sure if he looked pretty big for 168. Definitely carrying a lot of weight.
Roby good, showing some good movement, good combos, kind of jumping in, setting up his good footwork, good
Pat,
movement.
They kind of get a little tussle there and get the mat. Pat was actually leading with a jab, you know, trying to fight pretty long. Pat coming out of Caledonia, Mississippi, right up the road from Columbus.
I think Roby's going to be one of your fighters that understands distance the best tonight.
He's tying up, good shots to the body. They're right here in front of us, right?
Right here in front of us. Good action. Pascal Williams, Pat Williams coming in.
Good angles from Pat. You know, Pat definitely showing he's got a little bit of experience. Roby kind of rushing forward and throwing big shots. Now they're kind of filling each other out. Roby switching to southpaw. Good round there. That's a tough round. It's a tough round to judge if you're the judges there.
A little eyeballing each other down there at the end of the first round before they walk to the neutral corners. They walk to their respective corners.
Yeah.
Good first round. Get us going here. First round of the middleweight bracket here tonight. Possum Town Throwdown. Ring Girl showing round number 2 here between Roby and Williams.
What about that Possum Town logo, huh?
Pretty cool. It's original. It's definitely original.
We get ready to start here, round number 2. Both guys look fresh, look like they're ready to go.
Yeah, both guys showed a pretty good skill set there in the first round. Kicking off round 2 here. Both fighters coming out
meeting him in the center. They're coming out. Roby getting his footing now.
Good
backing Pat into the
right.
corner, but Pat does good fighting out of the corner. They fighting tight. That's what I love about boxing, when they get like real tight there.
Inside fighting. Good inside fighting by
Roby
both
pushing
guys.
him around the ring. Yeah. But you definitely the size advantage, you know, going to Roby, right?
But you mentioned earlier, you know, Williams did a good job not letting Roby kind of corner him off into that corner. He used his footwork to evade a little bit.
Roby's really landing that kind of that right uppercut to the body, little short shot to the body every time they tie up. But Pat, you know, his footwork is really good. I'm very impressed with Pat's footwork, switching to southpaw now.
Roby's still circling to his right. You like to see that battle between the orthodox and the southpaw fighter. It's all about that
work inside from Roby. Oh, he's going after him there. Okay. Another good round. Another good round. Roby and Pat's really bringing the heat here.
Yeah, I think Roby might probably edge him out a little bit there, but again, good work by Pat Williams there in the second round. First round was pretty close.
I really feel like if you're cornering either one of these men, you got to kind of tell them, hey, look, you got to put the foot on the gas here in the third round, because this, you know, and that first round could go either way. You say Roby got the nod, you know, but Pat had his moments in the second as well.
I think so. I think both fighters are still definitely in this fight.
Both guys, 29 years old, look to be in phenomenal shape coming in. You know, this is what you want to see here at a tough man. You know, these guys in great shape, and neither one of them look fatigued. They ready to go here for
Kicking
the
off
start
round 3 here. Pat Williams and Jamal Roby. Possum Town
Roby
Throwdown.
coming straight out southpaw, switching it up a little bit, working the jab, controlling the center, working Pat back to the ropes. But once again, Pat's holding his own in that clinch. You know, even when Roby's putting the pressure on now, Roby's really trying to put the pressure on and kind of get him in the corner.
He's doing a better job keeping Pat in the corner, using his shoulders, using his body a little bit, the bigger frame to kind of hold him there.
See that right uppercut to the body once again. You know, Roby's really winning that inside clinch battle there. Ref for letting him work out of the clinch here.
Roby still pressing forward. Switch back to the orthodox there. Good inside fighting by both guys.
You know, and Roby just being the bigger man, it's hard for Pat to control that clinch. You know, Roby's making him wear his weight. You know, he's making him wear that size advantage there. Okay, when we go to a end of the third round, we're going to be going to a decision here.
Good showing by both guys. I got Roby edging him out a little bit, but a good showing by Pat Williams. If it's true, if Pat Williams did come in at 168 pounds, I'd like to see him cut a couple pounds, get down to that lightweight division. I think he'd fare a little bit better off.
What, he's 3 pounds off? 3 pounds off. He would have did very well in that lightweight bracket, and we're sitting here talking like he didn't get the nod. You know, we don't know. We're not judging this fight. I do feel like Roby maybe 1, 2, and 3, but they were close rounds.
Yeah, definitely close rounds. Even the first round, or very close by both guys, and later on in the fight, I think Roby's size just started wearing on Williams just a little bit. He was able to corner him off, keep him a little bit more controlled. And I think maybe Rowe coming out and saving that little bit of southpaw for that last round might have made a difference as well.
Jamal Roby gets a nod by unanimous decision here.
So Roby moving on to the second
competitive fight, though. Pat, like you said, Pat did very well. Roby kind of imposed his will and made Pat wear that size there.
Crazy Cajun on the mic. Second fight, middleweight, first round bracket.
Got B.J. Williams, the ace man, coming all the way from Miami, Florida, one of our longest traveled fighters, huh?
Yeah, 28 years old. Says he's fighting out of Miami, Florida. A little bit of MMA experience, training out of Relentless MMA. He's engaged with one kid.
One key thing, you see his motivation for competing in this event. He said he did not fight on March 30th, so coming in fight ready, right? Maybe had a good fight camp.
Absolutely. I think when you see that guy, when you see him put something like that down, obviously he was in shape to fight, within the last couple of weeks. So he didn't take this on a limb, last second. He was ready for this. He's been training for something. So see how he does against David Hintz, 21 years old, Columbus, Mississippi. Put down that he's actually 1-0.
Not sure what he's 1-0 in. He didn't put MMA or
He's
boxing.
undefeated in some form of combat sports.
He said his motivation is that belt. Which everybody's competing tonight for the Possum Throwdown belt. You got to see those belts earlier, Joe. You like what you saw?
They're pretty sharp. Pretty sharp.
Once again, we were talking about the Possum Throwdown. Unique logo here with the possum, with the bloody mouth. And you see those on the belts later on tonight.
I think Joey Ford made that logo. The blood, huh?
Yeah, he likes the blood. He's more blood. He's like the just bleed guy, right? David Hintz coming out of Columbus, Mississippi, right here, his hometown. So once again, Bobby Williams coming all the way from Miami, Florida to compete here tonight. Said he just got engaged, right?
David Hintz is corner guy, really sharp-looking, sharp-dressed guy there.
Yeah, he came,
suit and tie.
He came for business, right?
Absolutely. Let me see how he does.
David Hintz saying his personal life, he's a comedian. You know, and as crazy as that sounds, you talk about fear or being in front of people. You know, he's used to standing in front of people and you know, putting on a show.
David Hintz's corner looking like a guy with a terrible office job and an overdue mortgage.
What's the Boy Meets World?
Yeah, I can't think of that guy's name. Looks just like
maybe somebody will get him on camera and somebody will comment on that.
So Bobby Williams taking on David Hintz.
David Hintz got a good build, you know, long, lanky. We'll see if he'll be able to use that reach.
We've seen
he has given up a little size at 185 pounds. Looks like he's given up 15 pounds, a little over 15 pounds in this fight. Round one, they touched gloves, and we're underway.
Williams immediately coming out in the southpaw, taking on the orthodox Hintz.
And Hintz once again is trying to fight long, trying to establish that jab, that 1-1-2, 1-1-2. Very repetitive, but it's working for him so far. He's got Williams backing up a little bit.
Williams landed his shots too, though. He's doing a good job staying in range, but still being able to try to evade those long shots from Hintz. But still staying just in there to where he can counter. Good counter by Williams.
Straight left. And you know that's the southpaw versus orthodox matchup. That's what you're looking at. Who's can beat the outside foot and land the straight.
And we talked about it earlier. Who's going to beat that lead foot?
He trips over the foot there. He's going to give him the slip. The referee going to break him up with a slip. We got 10 seconds left in this round. Oh, he goes down.
Not sure if that was from a shot.
I don't think it's from a shot. He kind of looks like he maybe hurt his knee.
I think he rolled. Maybe rolled his ankle.
Oh, Williams looks.
If you look at the ring,
corner.
Kind of a loose claw. I don't know if maybe he slipped, lost his footing there, but we're going to have to see how that fares for Williams in the second round.
Definitely after that first slip, he just didn't look like he had his feet underneath him. And I don't, like you said, I don't think it was a big shot. I don't think it was that hurt him. Maybe rolled his ankle or something. You know,
something was off with his footwork.
We got this false canvas here. You know, maybe the shoe sticking on the canvas a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a little grip.
Is it Finkel? Was that the guy's name?
I think it is Finkel.
Yeah, Finkel cornering David Hintz. That guy might be a undefeated professional.
Sounds like he's giving some pretty good sound advice too. He's in there. He's doing a good job.
Got his calculator watch on.
Kudos to him for
Solid
supporting
mustache.
his partner, supporting his buddy here. Possum Town Throwdown.
We got some characters in this build tonight. Second round coming underway. Once again, touch the gloves. Oh, Hintz go to touch the gloves, and he threw that right hand. Dude.
Williams still limping a little bit on that right foot, right leg.
Williams is going for blood.
Fast hands.
Yes,
He's showing some very fast hands, very fast 1-2.
Well, Hintz is trying to fight that long, kind of slow pace, and that just always doesn't work out in tough man.
I think Hintz is not caught on to that straight left that Williams was trying to set up.
He's beating him around. We see a lot of reddening around the nose. Is that a little blood around the nose, I think? That straight left, there it is, lands again.
Trying to circle away from it, but He's got to move a little bit more, a little bit better.
That'd be the first blood we've seen drawn tonight.
Good counter right there by Hintz.
Yeah, Hintz is really fighting long. He does a really good job fighting long, but
turn his back there. I think he thought the bell had rang and almost.
Oh, Hintz eating heavy shots at the end of that round. Bobby, the ace man Williams, leaving no doubt that round. You know, coming in here to the third, about to start the third round.
Talked about the left hand, but he actually finished that round off with a very sharp right hand, straight right hand, right to the chin of Hintz. Hintz wore pretty well. He's on a stool getting ready for round 3. I think could you see,
Hintz looks exhausted.
Do you think maybe there was some?
And he'll turn it up right now. So we checked out in that round. It was in the round.
And no knock on Hintz. I don't know what his cornerman's experience is. Bobby Williams coming out of Relentless MMA. They got a really good fight camp over there. Really good MMA guys. I don't really know him much for boxing, but really good for MMA. And you just have that experience cornering. You know, I'm sure his cornermen were telling him, "Hey, look, Bobby, we need to separate this fight. You're keeping it too close."
We talk about it being a well-known MMA gym, but Williams really showing off a good boxing skill set tonight. Good footwork. He set up his punches. I think his understanding of range, you know, fighting a taller fighter, he's done a good job.
He's pouring it on now.
Fast hands for a big guy.
Very good hands.
Fast hands for a 200
pound. Oh, man. Oh, good uppercut from Williams. Hintz, tough guy, hanging in there. Still trying to fight with that jab, trying to fight long, trying to put that reach on him. But, man, Williams smells the blood. Good straight left. Left to the body. He's working the body, working the head. Williams putting it all together here tonight.
The ref is getting close to stepping in, I believe. But Hintz is really staying. He's trying to stay in there. He's still defending himself best he can. Williams just overwhelmed him.
Good answer back, though, from Hintz with the right hand. But he's just too fatigued. He don't have anything on his shots anymore. And now he's just really hands low, eating a lot of shots. Oh, good
call
right
by,
hand.
I think a good call by the ref to let him finish the fight, let him finish the round.
Yeah, Hintz showing his toughness there. You know, sometimes when you get in the fight game, fighters can almost be too tough for their own good, right?
Yeah, but I think in this format with the 1 minute rounds, the ref was right there looking at him real closely. Hintz, he was never really just totally out of the fight. Where he was turning his head like we've seen some of the previous guys doing. So
yeah, he was still trying to work his strategy.
If he's defending himself and trying to throw counter shots, I think let him go out, because sometimes that's a moral victory, just being able to finish the fight, get to that decision.
Yeah, he definitely, Hintz had his strategy, trying to fight long. Did well in the first round, establishing the reach, and then BJ Williams got some sound advice in between the first and second round. I'm sure his cornerman said, put the foot on the gas and let's close the distance and really start landing some power, and that changed the fight.
Honestly, I had Williams winning the first round as well, because
I think he did. I just think that Hintz did way better.
Hintz was fighting as a longer fighter. Williams was able to not over-evade or not over-escape to the point where he couldn't counter.
Hintz still happy in the corner, waving at his fans. Once again, like we said, tough guy. Hats off to him. He put on a good show. But BJ Williams going to take this and move on to round number 2 of our middleweight division.
Two more fights remaining in this first round.
Halfway through our middleweight bracket, huh?
Yep.
First round at least.
Two good fights.
Absolutely.
Roby moving on. BJ Williams moving on. Now we're going to have Wyatt Higginbotham taking on Destin Hahn, Mr. Han Solo.
Yeah, definitely two competitive fights. Middleweight division so far, from what I've seen, is pretty stacked.
Yeah, these guys are definitely showing up in shape, ready to fight, ready to compete. See how it progresses here.
He does. Yeah. Wyatt Higginbotham comes first to the ring. Tombstone is his nickname. Good movie. You ever watch Tombstone?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies. Days of Thunder and Tombstone, 2 favorite movies probably.
Good choice. Good choice. Big Tom Cruise fan?
Love Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. So Wyatt Higginbotham, Mr. Tombstone, 21 years old, out of Memphis, Tennessee. Got 6 months of experience. Full-time student. We'll see how he does against Mr. Han Solo, Destin Han.
Han Solo also putting his experience level. This is his first fight.
Good build.
Both guys 185 pounds here.
Destin Han showing a real good build for a window salesman.
Yes. Yes.
So married.
You think he sat in front of the TV when he was younger?
No. Did he sit in front of the TV?
You know,
It don't look like he
told him
spends
was a
much
window
time sitting
salesman.
down. Looks like he's in shape, ready to go. I seen what you did there.
You didn't get it.
No, I didn't get it at first.
All right, Mr. Han Solo, his hobbies include fishing and fitness. Has 2 beautiful daughters named Essie and Haley, or Hallie. Maybe mispronounced that, but
Hallie.
Shout out to
Essie
Essie and Hallie. I'm sure they're very proud of their dad in here. Sitting at 28 years old, coming in for his first fight, ready to put it all on the line here for the Possum Town Throwdown.
So you talk about Destin Han's family. That's what he put down for his motivation for competing tonight is his family. So first round underway.
He comes out, he's throwing
Yes,
a
he's
big
throwing heavy
haymaker
shots.
for his family.
Both
huh?
guys orthodox, real shaky on the feet.
Good left, right there
Pretty
from
tense, but
Han Solo. Wyatt with the right hand.
Wyatt's going to have to
Both
use his
guys.
reach here to try to keep, I think, the more aggressive fighter in Han, kind of keep him at distance, keep him
Good
at bay.
angle. Good angle there from Wyatt. Kind of working the side to side there. Kind of getting the footwork going.
Yeah, both fighters maintaining this orthodox stance, trying to set up their lead hands. Good right hand there by Han.
Not bad footwork from Wyatt. He just really isn't throwing off of it, right?
Nah, yeah, I think he's, like kind of mentioned earlier about Williams being able to kind of stay in range.
Good left hook to the body, as we say in that.
I think Higginbotham's starting to settle in a little bit and make a good showing here.
Good right hand. Oh, that puts him down.
Good straight right hand.
Puts him down at the bell. His arms wrapped
Saved by
up
the
in
bell.
ring.
The ref's not going to give the count. So saved by the bell
Sent it
here.
to the corner. Good right
Round
hand
one.
from Wyatt. Just like you said, he was kind of getting his footing, kind of getting more comfortable. If you notice, a lot of these guys, when they're first getting started out, we mentioned earlier with a previous fighter, you know, just being stiff and not utilizing that full potential of that reach, you know, landing that jab, but you see the arm and the elbows are still bent, or maybe coming up just short on that jab, and that's what you were seeing early on from Wyatt. But he definitely got it figured out towards the end of round number 1.
Yeah, what a way to end the first round there for Wyatt Higginbotham. Dropping Han with the straight right. I think that probably sealed that round off for him there.
Absolutely, and not only that is you send a message there to Han Solo saying, hey, look, man, I got power. And so you'll see how, we'll see here in the second round how Han Solo reacts to that.
Round 2 kicking off here. Higginbotham taking on Destin Han.
Oh, he puts him
Dropping
down again with a right hand. Han Solo doesn't look very much hurt, but he's getting the 8 count from the ref. He's ready to go.
And sometimes when you don't have the best footwork, it don't take a big shot, a big heavy like hurting shot to kind of fall. Sometimes just a little off balance, and he's eating some pretty good shots there.
Yes, you're
jumps
absolutely
up
right
quick.
though, Joe. The footwork definitely plays a big role in things, you know,
or if
having a good base underneath you. You know, that's kind of the key to taking a good shot.
Ooh, good right hand there by Higginbotham.
Taking a good shot right there. As I was saying that, Wyatt lands a huge right hand. Good uppercut.
Well, I think what you're seeing is Han's loading up so heavy on his shots, he's messing up his own footwork a lot of times.
Too, though. His feet just are not under him right now. And Wyatt smells blood.
The referee's going to call this
Referee's
fight.
going to wave this one off.
A good stoppage. Good stoppage. Not a bad showing by Destin Han. Tough guy.
Sending Wyatt Higginbotham to the second round.
So one of the young men coming to ask me if it's required to fight with shoes on. I believe in this boxing format it is, so I told him yes.
Well, maybe
I don't even know if
maybe
I'm the
he's
guy
got
to
some
make that
shoes.
kind
I
of
don't
call.
know.
So
Fighting
we'll see how it goes.
Crocs.
Let's get back
Should've told
focus
him
on this
Crocs.
fight. Higginbotham with a big win over Destin Han. Yeah, Destin Hahn, we talked about his beautiful family. I'm sure they're proud of him for coming out, showing a good effort, making a good showing here tonight.
Well, one thing for sure is Destin Hahn is no quitter. I mean, he jumped
That's
up.
tough guy.
Every time he got put down, he jumped up really quick and was waiting for the 8 count from the ref, and he was ready to go. He was ready to go. You know, real game guy. Just probably needs to get a little bit more experience. Great build, and obviously, you know, the first thing to fight is not being scared to fight. Correct?
Yeah, and he's definitely not scared to go in there and mix it up. I think a little bit of training, a little bit of kind of settling down a little bit in there. I think he was a little too high pace. Sometimes he was overloading on his shots. It was messing his footwork up a little bit. But Wyatt Higginbotham moving on to the second round of this middleweight bracket. We're going to have the final fight of our middleweight bracket. First round going on. We've got Quatavius Blunt going to take on Anthony Brown Jr. Brown Jr., one of those guys that kind of showed up here at the last minute, gave us his paperwork. Let's see how he does tonight. Mr. Keon taking on Q. Q, 19 years old, fighting out of Columbus, Mississippi. Works at Chick-fil-A, enjoys playing basketball, football, and social media.
I'm going to tell him thank you and see if he said my pleasure. You know,
better.
they have to say that,
Absolutely,
right?
he's trained to say it.
Trained to say it. They have to say it. He said he's just here to win, right? He's just, you know, came in, said he got experience playing football, loves hooping, assuming that's basketball. Not much of a basketball guy myself, but to each his own. 2 guys from Columbus, Mississippi, right? We might
two hometown guys doing battle here tonight in the final matchup of our first round middleweight bracket here. Possum Town Throwdown in Columbus, Mississippi. Quatavius Blunt has made his entry into the ring. 19 years old, fighting out of Columbus, Mississippi. Came in at 180 pounds. Going to be giving up a few pounds to Mr. Anthony Brown.
Yeah, Anthony Brown's a big guy. You know, he initially did not get his weigh-in, and then the commission had to go get him. I actually witnessed him step on the scale, 197 pounds. Solid dude, solid guy coming in here, Anthony Brown. Keon here. Doesn't have any experience, but he's a God-fearing man, and you know, having God on your side, that's definitely a good step in the right direction.
You know, some of these guys are really being truthful with this no experience or no training. I almost got to give them more respect than a guy that's been training for several years and comes in here and tries to put it out there. Like, these guys are coming in with very limited experience and very limited training. And they're going in there to see what they can do. So pretty cool.
Sometimes it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't, right?
Absolutely. So Anthony Brown has made his entry into the Possum Town Throwdown ring. We'll see how he does against Quatavius
Blunt.
Blunt.
Round 1. Anthony instantly kind of getting that circle going.
Yeah, Brown in the southpaw, Blunt in the orthodox.
Kind of getting that Philly shell with the lead shoulder, kind of a la Floyd Mayweather. Switching stances here. Filling it out.
Q coming out trying to be the longer fighter.
Q landed a good little uppercut.
Good right to the body, and then going up top with the right again.
Finishing up. Good angle, though, by Anthony there. Good footwork.
Good work by Q so far. He's lost his shoe.
Referee.
Lost his shoe. Referee calls timeout.
Call timeout.
It might have been what that gentleman came and was asking me about a second ago. Make sure those shoes are tied tight. Especially with this ring, you know, those regular tennis shoes, they can overgrip. No, he definitely does not have his shoes tied.
That's going to be a continuous problem in this fight here, I believe. Q put the pressure on. Was really a gentleman. He could have put the hands on him when his shoe came off, but he stepped back and let the man get his shoe on.
Good first round by Quatavius Blunt. Anthony Brown having a little issue with the shoe there. The referee did a good job stepping in there, taking care of the fighters. I think he's done a great job tonight looking after the fighters and making sure that all these fights play out in as fair of a matchup as possible, as fair of a manner as possible.
Yeah, Anthony Brown, you know, he came out circling, came right out. He was, you know, trying to work the footwork, trying to stay on his horse a little bit, and maybe see what Q was.
He ain't moving. He ain't got enough. We tried to go 40 instead. He ain't moving. 1 more feet this time.
Both guys stay in the same range the whole
Top. All right, sir. Top.
He was able to kind of reach and land his shots. A lot of the shots that Brown was throwing was falling short. Q pulling just enough to kind of stay in that range and be able to counter. So we're going to see what happens here in the second round.
Start of round 2, they come out, meet in the center. Once again, Q establishing that jab, that 1-2. Oh, good 2 there from Q.
Q's definitely throwing the heavier shots.
Brown's
Right
starting
hand,
to
right
throw
on
a
the
little
top
bit
of the
of
forehead there.
Feeling each other out here.
It's something you mentioned earlier. You know, these guys fighting in, I think you said 12-ounce gloves.
12-ounce gloves.
It's not very big, so seeing these guys being able to throw good, fast, heavy shots.
Good movement there from Anthony, but still, though, he's just not getting any offense, you know. Decent defense. Now Q really pushing him around, putting him in the corner. Now these guys are
Really looking for the finish
Q's
here. The ref's looking to stop it. I think the ref's about to step in. He's giving him an 8 count. Not a bad call by the ref there to give a standing 8 count.
You know, Brown's just not really hurt. He just was kind of overwhelmed in the corner.
Again, I got to say I've been impressed with the referee up to this point.
He's done a phenomenal job. We'll move on to round
doing a good
3.
job. Don't get yourself involved unless you got to get involved, and I think he's done that tonight. So,
well, the fans, they want to see these guys fight. They paid to see them fight. They didn't pay to see the referee, you know, break them apart and stuff. So he's done a good job allowing them to fight out of the clinch and out of the corner.
I think you're to see Quatavius Blunt on the scorecards being up by 2 rounds.
I feel the same way.
I think you'll see Quatavius put his foot on the gas to try to finish this fight here in the 3rd round.
Yeah, he still looks fresh. He still looks fresh, and you know, Brown looks like he's maybe showing a little fatigue. Come out for start of round 3. Anthony circling once again. Trying to work that jab. I think he really needs to get some power in there. He's got to touch him. He's got to get Q to respect him.
I think Quatavius coming out a little bit more methodical. When I say that, they start just trading shots.
Good. There, Anthony finally showing a little.
Some fights, you got to just step in and kind of mix it up and make a fight ugly, and I think that's what Brown's going to try to do, is just try to push forward, land his shots, maybe try to hurt Q.
The problem is
he's up against
Brown
the rope.
Is fatigued, man. He is fatigued, and that might have been his last hurrah. Well, I say that. He's coming forward.
Quatavius still just overwhelming him with shots. I think he's the fresher fighter. Definitely showing good conditioning to be able to maintain the pace that he has so far throughout this fight.
Yeah, Brown kind of just hands up, covering up, trying not to go down, but Q is really putting the pressure on now. Brown turns his back right here at the end of round number 3. What you got? What's your decision, Joe?
I think we'll give it to Q. I think he won all 3 rounds. Not a bad showing. Again, I can't ever knock a guy for going in there, competing, and whether it's a ring or a cage, somebody's backyard, when you're willing to put yourself out there, you know, it takes a lot of guts.
Yeah, Brown just, it was almost like he waited till he was too late, you know, to kind of get going. And once again, in this format, we were already talking about with these shorter rounds, you know, you don't have time to do that. They're looking for action here at Possum Town Throwdown. They're looking for action. Not a whole lot of time to fill each other out. We're awaiting the judge's decision here for our final fight of the middleweight division, round 1. The judges agree with you, Joe. Announcing unanimous decision. Quatavius Blunt going his way. So he will move on to round number 2. So that completes our our bracket there. So we got Jamal Roby, BJ Williams, Wyatt Higginbotham, and Katavius Blunt moving on to round number 2 of our middleweight bracket.
Somebody's going to go home. Tonight. Somebody's going home with $1,500 in that
Possibly
middleweight.
More than that with the $500 knockout bonus. We haven't seen that yet tonight, but I'm sure these guys all want it.
Well, if anybody could do it, it's going to be these heavyweights. So we got the heavyweight bracket coming up next. We're going to have 5 fighters competing in this first round of the heavyweight bracket here.
We're actually going to have 4. So Mason Rushing was given the first round bye because we have an odd number. So we'll actually have 2 heavyweight bouts here in the first round.
I was just kind of including him in there. So we're going to have 4 fighters actually fighting, but you're going to have 5 fighters in the bracket altogether. So first round, we're going to see N. Scott taking on Joseph Gregory, Joseph Foreman taking on Holden Fields, and then, like you mentioned earlier, Josh, Mason Rushing getting the first round bye due to there being an odd number of fighters.
Moving on along, hour and a half in, starting our heavyweight bracket here at Columbus Fairgrounds, Possum Town Throwdown.
And the Bear Scott making his way to the ring here. 22 years old, fighting out of Cleveland, Mississippi. Brown belt in Shotokan, so probably one of your more established martial artists that's competing here tonight. So I thought it was pretty cool. He enjoys poetry and writing.
Yeah, well, you know, brown belt in Shotokan, that's a great thing to have, but you know he's not going to be able to throw any kicks here tonight.
I think one thing that those karate style of martial arts give you is understanding distance. So I think that's one thing that you're going to see in Scott is just having a good understanding of distance.
So he's taking on Mr. Joseph Foreman. No, I'm sorry, Joseph Gregory.
Joseph Gregory, Mr. Tough Love, 28 years old, hometown guy, fighting out of Columbus, Mississippi. Video director as an occupation. He enjoys boxing and filming, loves Jesus.
And he's been training for over a year, so he's got a little experience.
And here trying to see what he's got. So looking forward to
Mr. Tough Love versus the Bear. We got some good nicknames out here at
pretty
Possum
cool.
Town Throwdown.
Scott taking on Gregory here. First fight of the heavyweight bracket. Both fighters look eager to get it going. So we see what happens here. Scott coming in 235 pounds, taking on Gregory, who's 282 pounds. 2 very big men in here about to trade shots. Mixing it up quick here.
Yeah, he's going in. The Bear is really putting him down. He put him down. His hands are down. Ian Scott. He did kind of a little show of sportsmanship. He did maybe hit him in the back of the head there. That was kind of after he was down, though. You know, he's checking on him, making sure he's good. That was a fast start for these heavyweights.
Very fast start. Talking about the Shotokan background, not really the start that I was expecting. A little bit more methodical pace by Scott, but he came forward just throwing shots.
You said this man understands distance, and it looks like he understands power because that's what he's bringing right now. He is just throwing big. Oh, he puts him down.
Right
just as I was saying that. Puts Joseph Gregory on his back. Gregory getting up, answering the count.
Did he call that a slip? He didn't count. I think he called that a slip, but that was a clean right hand.
That was a clean right hand. Put the man down, you know. I think the ref might have missed that one. That was a heck of a right hand from Ian the Bear Scott.
I definitely thought that was a clean right hand. Maybe he waved it off because it was the end of the round. I didn't hear the bell. I was kind of caught up in the action that was going on in the ring, but the referee choosing not to count. Asking Gregory to stand up. Have to do something to keep Scott off of him.
Well, one thing you know about the heavyweight division is one shot can change everything, right? Right now, Ian has his foot on the gas, but Joseph is a very big man, sitting at 282 pounds. We'll see if he can pack some power here.
So touch of gloves between the two fighters.
Ian looks like they dumped a whole bottle of water on him.
Yeah, they need to dry that off of him.
Not sure what his cornermen were doing there.
Scott really landing that, really loading up on that right hand. A good pull there by Scott to avoid a shot by Gregory. Showing some pretty good movement, some good defensive skills there. That's probably that background of Shotokan that you're seeing. But Gregory trying to move forward, working that jab. A little bit of a shorter fighter. Trying to work forward with that jab. He's got to get inside and mix it up.
Trying to tie him up there a little bit, trying to tie in.
I think that's going to be Gregory's route to victory is just closing distance and trying to fight on the inside.
Reach, right? I mean, it's just simple physics.
Yeah.
You know, Ian has a little bit longer build where Gregory looks like maybe he's the more powerful, shorter, compact man.
Gregory's got a build like my buddy Josh Walls down there on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Always a fun guy to watch.
And Josh Walls being a fan favorite, the people's champ, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot closer around there coming into the closing in the second round.
I think you've seen Scott trying to pace himself a little bit better in that second round. He came forward with a frenzy in the first. So I think he was trying to pace himself a little bit. I think you're going to see him come forward and put his foot back on the gas here in the third round. We're going to see what he can do here against Gregory.
Yeah, Gregory, you know, I tell you what, Ian the Bear Scott, he looks exhausted. He looks exhausted.
A little tired. I think
Is he giving him, I guess he poked a hole
in the bottom, but I think that's why all that water.
Yeah, they're going to have to get the cleanup crew on aisle 3 here.
Yeah. Different tactic there by the corner of In the Scott Bear.
Sometimes you got to work with what you got.
In the Bear Scott. I said In the Scott Bear. In the Bear Scott. 22 years old, fighting out of Cleveland, Mississippi. I think I got him ahead by 2. We'll see what he can do here in the third round.
I agree with you, Joe. But you know these heavyweights, like I said earlier, one shot can change. Right now, Ian Scott is
Gregory really just got to get his head up. He's coming forward with his head down, and
two big men.
You can't hit what you can't see. You can't hit what you can't see. You can't come forward with your head down.
Definitely can't.
It's hard to
look
land
down.
your shots.
Yeah, it's hard to. You got to see. You know, also to your body. You know, will adjust to that shot that's coming. You know, when you can't see that shot, that's going to be the one to put you down.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done when you got a big guy like Ian Scott throwing haymakers at your head to keep your head up and keep your eyes on him and try to work forward and be sound defensively.
Yeah, and so far, you know, Ian has kind of done a really good job, and you know, I don't want him to take offense if he listens to this later. Kind of making it an ugly fight, right? You know, and people that are fighters kind of know what I'm saying there. You know, winning the battle with the clinch, kind of the dirty boxing, you know, which they allow here in Slugfest, and just a real gritty guy, 2 tough, gritty guys. But we close out round 3. Who you got on the scorecards?
Well, good showing by Joseph Gregory, the hometown guy here in Columbus, Mississippi. But I think you're going to see Ian Scott moving on to the second round of this heavyweight bracket.
I think I got to agree with you on that call, Joe. We'll see what the judges have to say. But, you know, Ian definitely landed the bigger shots. You know, but Joseph did a great job absorbing those shots, continuing to come forward, plod forward, and you know, he just really couldn't get going. Little 3-6 Mafia as we wait for the unanimous decision here. Mr. Ian Scott's going to be moving on to the second round of our heavyweight bracket.
So don't forget, as we mentioned earlier, we got an odd number in this heavyweight bracket. So one fighter, Mr. Rushing, getting the first round bye here. Our second and final fight of the first round here in the heavyweight bracket is going to be between Joseph Foreman, Mr. Big Mac, taking on Holden Tank Fields. Joseph Foreman coming in at 341 pounds. Big man
coming
Big
in.
Mac coming in.
The second fight of our heavyweight bracket.
24 years old, fighting out of Pontotoc, Mississippi. Sets up mobile homes, transports and sets up mobile homes.
You've done that, huh?
Yeah, I did that back in the day.
Back in
Rough
the
and
cut?
tough job, yeah. Shout out to my boy D-Rod, Picayune, Mississippi.
I'm sure he's watching from home, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching.
Mostly was watching UFC 300, huh?
Yeah, good show. Unfortunately, here in the fairgrounds, there's 0 phone service, so
They don't use phones in Columbus, Mississippi. They don't have Wi-Fi.
get some feedback regarding the results of those fights. Big fight night for UFC.
Somebody send me a text message. Let me know. But it's still 7:30. It's still early.
And with that being said, I'm still excited here to be at the Possum Town Throwdown. You get some guys
Can't beat
coming
it.
out right now. These
I'll tell
guys
you what,
behind us, this crowd behind us is really getting.
Fields.
They're really giving it
from,
up here.
Columbus, Mississippi, the Tank, with a big crowd here supporting him.
So aircraft worker coming out of the Columbus Air Force Base. Beautiful girlfriend named Madeline, who is the mother to his pride and joy, Miss Molly.
Molly, I'm sure, watching from home. Proud of her father here. Holden Fields training for 2 months. Training for 2 months, so we'll see what he's got, what he brings to the table. 2 big guys here for our second heavyweight fight. 341 pounds. That's like me and you and one other guy.
And you're looking at a combined of 600 pounds between these 2 guys. It's crazy. They getting after big right hand.
Good right hand.
Mr.
Puts
Fields.
Big Mac down. The Tank landing the power. He's trying to get, and the crowd is going wild here. Like we said, the Tank has huge support.
Yeah, the biggest shot of the night there was just landed by Fields against Mr. Big Mac. And they're fighting at a pace. The ref's trying to sit in and trying to control. That's one thing.
Man,
Referee's going to have to
ref.
maintain control of this. He's done a good job so far tonight.
Knocks his
The
mouthpiece out. They're going to time it out. Put Mr. Big Mac's mouthpiece back in his mouth.
The Foreman's mouthpiece back in place. Trying to mix it back up. Coming out southpaw is Foreman. Orthodox by Fields. Still trying to land that big overhand right.
His right hand left.
Foreman's wearing some shots here.
Good shots. These guys are throwing leather. Knocks his mouthpiece out again. The crowd is really getting fired up here. They really are supporting Tank. And, regardless if you're here supporting Tank, you got to hand out for Big Mac. Big Mac is bringing the pain too. These guys are throwing down.
Yeah, good fight here. The last fight of this first round.
Oh,
bracket,
knocks his mouthpiece again at the bell. He's going to have to keep that in his mouth.
I think you're going to see the ref kind of talk to him in between the rounds.
You've seen it before. You've seen guys get disqualified for not being able to keep their equipment in their mouth or in their pants, right? So,
absolutely. I've seen cups and mouthpieces being issued in fights, and the referee, referees and the box commission always try to do a good job to protect the fighters, and that safety equipment is put in place for a reason. So
glad
he's
you
going to have to try to
clarified
control
that, saying he did not keep his equipment in his pants.
So second round coming up between Fields and Foreman. A little excitement in the crowd, probably your more intense and more excited fight here tonight.
Start of round 3 here. Round two, right?
Round two. Round two between Fields and Foreman. I think you got to give the first round of Fields. Foreman did a good job coming back from that early knockdown, making the first round competitive. But I think Fields edged him out. We'll see what happens here in the second round.
Well, one thing about it, these guys showed in the first round that they are ready to throw leather.
Yeah, Foreman doing a better job keeping that left hand up a little higher. He keeps dropping it. Every time he goes to throw it, he drops it down.
Good. Swing and miss.
He falls. I think that wasn't a shot.
A little bit more of a slip.
I think that was more of just
once again this
falling back.
Crowd really kind of getting behind Tank here.
The refs give him a count, but I don't think that's going to hurt Big Mac as far as just getting a break, getting a rest, because I think he's a little exhausted.
Man, he's got that mouthpiece hanging out. He's going to lose that mouthpiece in just a second.
Good left hand there.
Left hand from Big Mac. They working to clinch.
Fields doing a good job against a guy that he's given up around 80 pounds to.
He goes.
Fields takes a knee.
Goes to a knee.
I think he took a left hand there. He took a left hand. The referee not giving a count. Very interesting. I thought he ate a left hand there, huh?
I think the left hand dropped him, put him down on a knee. You know, he was kind of, you know, we mentioned earlier in the night about the problem is when you land that big right hand early on or that big straight early on and put your guy down, it kind of puts you in a habit of where you're looking for that big shot, right?
Absolutely. I think that might be the momentum that Foreman needs to kind of move forward in this third round. Maybe lock up a victory here in this heavyweight bout.
Well, technically on paper, you should have Foreman went down in the first round, and then they both went down in the second round, so we'll see what they got in the third round. If Foreman could put the foot on the gas, maybe win this third round, he might can steal this fight.
I think so. And he had the momentum there towards the end. I think Fields, kind of hard to read body language sometimes, but man, the crowd's really into this fight.
Yeah, well, they should be. These guys are putting it all on the line here and throwing big shots, big heavy shots, two big man. That's exactly what you want to see. This is the epitome of tough man, right?
Yeah, two guys going in there just really trying to knock each other out. No footwork, just walking each other down, throwing big hands, big punches.
Looked like they drank 12 Busch Lighties and jumped right into.
I love Busch Lighties. Good right hand there by Fields. Foreman wearing it pretty good. I think he knows he can't go down if he was it.
Coming forward,
still throwing shots. Closing moments of this third round. Conclude this
right hand from Foreman. And Fields just took it.
A little pulling on the head there. Fields complaining to the ref, rightfully so. You can't really hold the head down there in dirty box.
I'll tell you what, both these guys, they left it all in the ring tonight. You know, both of them showing a little that they're a little tired, a little worse for the weather, but I tell you what, they were throwing down tonight for this hometown crowd, this Columbus crowd.
Yeah, I think both guys are going to, regardless of the who gets the nod here, both guys can hold their heads high, knowing they went out there and they fought hard.
Probably sit down and drink one of those Busch Lattes you were speaking of.
Or 12.
Or 24. Judgment-free zone here at Possum Town Throwdown.
I ain't hating. So we'll see who gets the nod by the judges here.
They announce Mr. Fields, the Tank Fields, as the winner. I feel like you're going to see this Columbus crowd come to life here. Looking around, they're all standing on their feet. They're ready to go. I believe if we move on as scheduled, we're going to take a short intermission after the judges get their decision in. Taking a while to get the decision, right?
Yeah, I think, again, pretty competitive fight. We talked about the early knockdowns.
Let's go to the Raging Cage, and he's announcing the winner now. Sorry to interrupt you.
Ladies and gentlemen, unanimous decision.
Fields moving on. Fields getting a decision and close fight. You see Fields moving on to the second round.
He earned it. He ate some shots. He gave some shots. Very competitive. Very competitive fight. I think we're going to take a short intermission here. All right, Joe, we're going to take a break. Maybe go get one of those Busch Lattes you were speaking of.
Not on the job. I don't drink on the job.
Joe is professional as they come. So, guys, we're going to 10, 15-minute break. We'll get back with you. Y'all stay tuned. Possum Town Throwdown, Columbus Fairgrounds, Columbus, Mississippi. This crowd's starting to get live, aren't they? Yeah.
Josh, we're just about done with our first intermission, about to get back to action. What'd you think about the first round of fights?
I think they were very entertaining. You know, that's what you're looking for when you come to these tough man. You're looking for entertaining fights, and I thought you coined it best at the start of this show. You said you're going to see some experience. You're going to see some guys that just kind of come out just to see, But I'll tell you what I'm excited about. I'm excited about this second round of this middleweight bracket. This middleweight bracket is stacked.
You got some really good guys. You're going to have, I guess we can go ahead and announce talk about the matchup. So you're going to have Bobby Williams taking on Jamal Roby. I'm big on Roby just because I've been kind of been there. I talked about him competing on the Southern Hand Slugfest. I sat right next to his wife and his kid the whole night, so got to know them a little bit. So not trying to be biased, but they're good people. So you always try to pull for some of the guys, but he's going to have a tough task taking on Bobby Williams. Williams showed a good skill set. He was that guy that was really using range and using those 1-2s real well. So I don't think you could have picked a better middleweight matchup between those two guys.
And that's two big guys, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got Quatavius Blunt taking on Wyatt Higginbotham. Higginbotham came out and was able to get the finish over his opponent as well.
He threw heat early. And we got Q Fall. Remember, Q was very straightforward. Did a good job, had a good uppercut to him. I think that that's a stacked bracket.
Well, I think you're definitely the more talented bracket. You're going to have us getting kicked back off here.
First round of women's, right? So we only had 4 women competing tonight. They're actually competing in open weight tournament format. We mentioned earlier, very similar like Allied UFC 1 and 2, where it's open weight don't matter, right? But we still have 4 women just ready to brawl. They've been sitting here all night. They've been waiting for their chance, and now they get it.
I do apologize. I've just been corrected. We're going to start out with the women's division.
Trying to get everything back on schedule here.
The Raging Cajun making it right with the announcement here. He's going to announce the first competitors here in our women's open weight bracket. Brittany Boucher-Edwards is going to be taking on Devin Carr.
Boucher. She works for D&D Construction. And she's from Columbus, Mississippi. If you can't tell, you guys watching from home should hear that crowd. They're really excited about Brittany Boucher-Edwards here.
Hometown crowd really behind Brittany Edwards for this one.
Wonder if she's related to Bobby Boucher.
Possibly.
The old water boy.
So Miss Boucher, 32 years old, coming in, like you mentioned, hometown girl, fighting out of Columbus, Mississippi, motivated in this event to try to make the money, the $1,500 that's going to be up for grabs for the winner of this women's bracket.
She'll be taking on Devin Carr. Devin coming all the way from Miami, Florida. Said she don't have a gym. She don't have very much experience. Personal life, she says she has none at all. But her motivation to compete in this event, as funny as it is to beat Brittany Boucher. But
somewhat of maybe a little grudge match. You mentioned earlier they were all hanging out, so
what's Devin Carr do for a living?
She's actually an exotic dancer. Okay. So Devin Carr, an exotic dancer coming in, taking on
probably
Brittany
agile.
Boucher-Edwards. We'll see how her footwork is.
Agility. She is both fighters coming
touching
in
them up.
very close, 130 pounds. And
Devin going right to work against Edwards.
Touch gloves.
And they're just swinging wild. And I think
Boucher is down.
In the back of the head by Boucher there.
And then she gets up and
all smiles, even though probably a legal blow to the back of the head there.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till somebody gets punched, right?
If you look at the two stances, I would say that Miss Carr has the better stance out the two, but they are just throwing some punches here, just waylaying.
Kind of throwing haymakers, just what the crowd came to see, right?
Yeah, a lot of action.
No filling out, just getting right after it.
They're
Boucher turning her
head there, running away. I think they're both kind of turning their head. They're mixing it up. A fun field. fast, frenzy pace first round. I don't think the round's
I don't
over.
think they realize that the round is still
not
going.
over.
You know, and that's just that experience. You know, we've seen that a couple times tonight where the 10-second bell goes off.
When they hear that clapper, they think the round's over. But pretty fun round there in the first between Devin Carr, Brittany Edwards.
Well, that's what you see here at Possum Town Throwdown. Some fun fights, good fights, competitive fights. The crowd's enjoying it.
See what round 2 entails. Carr taking on Edwards. Just about to get underway.
I'd hate to be a judge in that first round, huh?
That's a tough one to judge. I would have to lean towards Carr. I think she landed the better shots.
But she did put Boucher down.
Yeah, she put Boucher down. Wasn't really a count there by the ref, but I would say that she was able to land some shots and put.
And there goes the bell for round 2. Carr starts circling.
Say Carr has the better stance out the two, fighting out the orthodox. Brittany's Boucher a little bit more squared up.
Starting to really
slamming
some
her shots
power
now.
is Boucher. Carr kind of,
I think Carr's
maybe
wearing
slapping
a little bit. Yeah. They're walking forward, just throwing shots.
Yeah,
turning her head.
That's the name of the game here. And tough. I keep saying tough man, but I guess this is tough woman.
Tough ladies. Tough person. Tough person contest here.
Gender neutral. They both looked exhausted here. Devin Carr
talking with one another a little bit.
Oh, she turns her head. The ref is not going to allow her to do that very much.
So the clapper there. I think she's thinking the second round's over, and it's not. Again, I think she's done.
Time. She wants time.
I think she's done.
I think I'd be very surprised if Devin Carr answers this bell for this third round. She is exhausted.
Yeah, I think she's a little more wore out than what Brittany is. Third and final round between Brittany Edwards and Devin Carr.
I don't know if Carr's going to answer the bell. She really is not feeling it right now.
Actually, I mean, again, the second round, pretty competitive, a pretty tough one to call.
Well, I mean, if you're Carr's corner, you got to tell her to dig deep right now because it's probably 1-1.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're in a competitive fight, you don't understand how competitive it is or you know, where you're getting the edge. And really, you know, I don't think Carr did bad in the first round, and I don't think she did too bad in the second round. She's obviously a little fatigued, but, you know, she's not too far off from possibly winning this fight.
Well,
just,
you know, you also had the
hometown
crowd kind of behind Boucher, so Devin's really got to put her foot on the gas this third round. I just don't know if she's got it in the tank.
Sometimes that can motivate you as well, fighting that hometown person, hometown fighter. And he's mixing it up. She's trying to go with the spinning back fist.
I don't know if that's legal in boxing, but this is slugfest.
Edwards is digging a little deeper here in the third round.
Carr with the big left hand.
Hit her when she's down.
Edwards back on her feet. He's going to give her a count.
That could win Carr the fight right there.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
what a turn of events.
Going from not possibly answering to
kind of backing up now.
I don't think she
Edwards has got to go get on her.
Yeah,
she's down. She's down. She's got to put her down.
Yeah, she is just standing there, letting Carr circle and letting the
time
time tick away.
She's got to go after.
She's got to push the pace here.
The crowd is not going to like this
decision
decision if it goes to Devin Carr.
Well, unfortunately, I think
Edwards is not doing anything to negate that. Lands a good right hand at the bell, but
I think
this fight's going to be a toss-up.
I think with the way it went down, I think you got to give it to Devin Carr.
Yeah, they hug it out. You know, good friends here. You know, also something to take into account is this tournament format is a battle of attrition, and even if Devin Carr gets the nod here, I'm not sure how much fight she's got left in her. She's now sitting down in her corner.
She's very exhausted.
We await the judge's decision. Edwards looks like the fresher fighter, but she just really did not take advantage of that.
Now, she had a second there where after she was knocked down there in that third round where she kind of just stood and took the center of the cage or took the center of the ring and just really didn't press forward. despite the fact that she was probably down in that round and down in the fight overall due to that knockdown. So kind of one of them fights where I don't think either fighter really showed the will to want to continue on in this tournament format, you know?
Yeah, you know, it's a different beast. You know, you go out there and you fight one time, you're done. You had that adrenaline dump, and then, you know, and you kind of get the adrenaline, you work through it, then, bam, you got to get ready. Oh, they give the nod to Brittany Edwards.
Very surprising.
Not sure. Devin Carr with 2 knockdowns, 1 in the first, 1 in the third, I believe. But
I definitely had that round had that fight for Carr, but Brittany Edwards going to be moving on. I don't think Devin Carr really. I don't think Devin Carr is really going to argue. I think she was okay with that. I don't think she's
upset with it.
I don't think she wanted to fight anymore tonight anyway. So
I guess that's why we're sitting here and they're judging fights, correct? Our second fight in our women's division, we got Adriana Balcom versus Kenna Turner. You know, you look at the open weight division here. This is the size disadvantage. This is the size discrepancy that we were all kind of noting tonight. You know, Adriana Balcom coming in at a rough and ready 277 pounds.
And you know, you read that bio about Miss Balcom, 19 years old, Columbus, Mississippi, works out at Planet Fitness, just had a kid.
4 months ago, had
a kid. She's engaged. Just wants to have fun, and so all the credit to her for coming out here, trying to just have some fun tonight.
Absolutely.
See what she can do.
I've never had a kid before, but I would imagine that you know, coming out here and doing something like this 4 months afterwards, that's a large feat.
Much respect to Miss Balcom.
Kenna Turner coming out of Meridian, Mississippi, 19 years old.
2 19-year-olds.
Yeah, she's 130 pounds. She is another Shotokan karate. That's the second person we've had that is got a karate background. Very interesting. I believe Shotokan karate is 1-0 on the night.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see, right, at the bell. They come out very cautious, very cautious. Kenna working the body. Oh, landing the right hand.
Landing her shots.
Man, she's on her horse. That's really kind of what you got to do, though.
I like the light footwork by Turner here. Working that outside on her bicycle.
Yeah, she's going to make Balcom move. You know, she got to make Balcom come to her, and she's fighting long, using her reach. Looking really good, light on her feet so far.
Turner tries to come in with the overhand right.
Addie slips.
Addie slips there. Back to her feet.
And that's what, you know, Kenna's. She might have hurt her ankle
there.
I don't know what she talking to the ref.
Referring to her ankle there. And Turner making a pretty good showing against a bigger fighter here in the first round. Good body shot and bringing it back up top.
Kenna landing those shots from the outside. A little action after the bell there from Balcom. Kenna didn't like that. Kenna Turner, cornered by her father, I believe. I was talking to him earlier.
Yeah, I think he did refer to his daughter competing tonight. So doesn't like having you pop in your corner there. Miss Turner representing Turner Shotokan in Meridian, Mississippi. She's a karate instructor there. She's also a waitress. And she is competing tonight because CPAC told her to.
Well, she looks like she's, you know, kind of asserted her game plan there in the first round, and that might be the way to win this women's division. You know, she probably had the slicker footwork out of the first 2 fights of our women's division that we've seen so far.
She could easily leave here tonight, $1,500 in her pocket, and a pink belt, pink Possum Town Throwdown belt wrapped around that waist.
Start of round 2 here. Kenna comes out southpaw, immediately switches orthodox and throws that right hand.
Good left to right movement. She's starting to get a little bit more loose with her footwork.
Balcom just not
having
really
trouble reading that footwork. I think she's having trouble, reading that footwork by Turner.
I'll tell you what, this crowd is not going to like this. They want to see them fight a little bit harder.
Body shot by Turner.
Balcom's got to move forward. She's kind of tripping over her feet a little bit. You know, you mentioned earlier the feet kind of sticking to this cloth. Maybe having a little issues there. But Kenna, the lighter fighter, kind of lighter on her feet.
Turner almost caught herself getting
cornered there.
Getting cornered there. So she did a good job circling. You really just got to stay on your bicycle when you're fighting somebody where you're giving up the size that Turner's giving up.
Good
right
jab
here.
there
Jab
from
by Addie
Balcom.
there to finish up the first round.
That's a good end of the first round for Balcom.
Second round, I apologize. So 2 rounds down here between Balcom and Turner. Looking like we're going to go to the 3rd round to see who takes on Brittany Edwards in the final for the
Balcom's just got to come forward and let her hands go. You know, being a powerful fighter, you feel like she can maybe corner Kenna up, and you mentioned it right there in the middle of the 2nd round. Kenna almost caught herself in the corner with a larger fighter.
Right. So I think Turner kind of caught her off guard there in the 1st round with some of those shots where she was bouncing in and out, and just I think Balcom was having trouble with that footwork that was being showed by Turner. Got her a little gun shy on coming forward.
Yeah, it's intimidating when you got a fighter kind of bouncing in and out, light on their feet, you know, and you walk in a couple times, eat that jab or that straight, and you know, it slows you down. That's the name of the game here. Start of round 3 here. Kenna's getting right in her face right here to start off, and I think she quickly decides that might be a bad idea. Finally letting the hands go.
Turner can't let this crowd draw her into a brawl. She's got to stay on her bicycle. She's got to stick to that game plan. I got to say, too, this is not a very big ring. So it favors, you know.
Definitely favors the
fighters that like to close the distance.
Fighter. Looking for the counter.
They're
throwing good shots now, really getting into it.
Couple good shots landed by Turner.
I think Balcom's got to let him go, maybe try to put her down here.
She definitely probably has the power to. He says she just got to find a way to corner that fighter off, corner her opponent off. And
once again, you know, you see, you know, kind of the first fight jitters, or you know, kind of getting going, you know, where Balcom just didn't really get going that 1st round. Towards the end of the 2nd round, she started landing, kind of gaining more confidence, and in the 3rd round, she did a much better job landing shots. But we'll see if the judges, you know, maybe it might be a little too late, right?
Yeah, I think Turner's probably going to get the nod here in this one. Again, much credit to Balcom coming out. You know, if this bio was true, 4 months out from having a kid. So much respect to her to come out here, have some fun tonight, taking on a very talented young lady in Keena Turner. So
yeah, Keena would probably be my favorite to win that.
Well, if you notice, we mentioned
gets a nod here.
Turner gets a nod. Something to kind of add in there. You know, we mentioned both these young ladies being 19 years old, and Turner, 15 years of experience training in Shotokan karate. So good showing for her. Very talented young lady here at the Possum Town Throwdown. Moving on to take on Brittany Edwards in the finals of that lightweight bracket. We're going to see who goes home with $1,500.
Open weight bracket.
Open weight bracket. I'm sorry, open weight bracket.
Females are open weight, which I believe with Kenna and Brittany in the finals, they both weigh 130 pounds. So the 2 lighter fighters in the round of 4 actually move on to the finals. So I guess open weight doesn't make a difference for these ladies. They came out and did what they had to do to punch their ticket into the finals and compete for a chance to win the $1,500 and that beautiful pink belt you were mentioning earlier.
I think we're going to move forward with the 2nd round of our lightweight bracket. A couple of pretty good matchups. We're going to have Pedro taking on Collins, followed by Tobias Wilson taking on Sharquiz Cox. I think that's going to be an interesting fight. Mr. Cox and Tobias both had pretty good showings in the first round, so we'll see how this second round goes for the lightweight fighters.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned it earlier. The footwork Pedro showed, Pepe El Toro, I love his nickname, showed in that first round. Very impressed with his footwork. I believe he won a decision, but handily won that decision. Very impressed. Like I said, one of the few fighters we've seen tonight that really kind of looked the part, if you will, kind of passed the eye test.
He just did a good job mixing those shots up. He came in, had the good, strong game plan against his first-round opponent, landing a lot of overhand rights, but it wasn't like he was just coming in throwing those big overhand rights. He was setting it up with his body shots. He was mixing up well, but he's taking on D. Collins. I was impressed with D. Collins in the first round as well, so we're going to see how he does in the second round. Very tall, rangy fighter. Both these guys coming in at 165 pounds, coming in at the top of the weight class here for the lightweight.
And that's what you want to see, you know. I mean, you see, you know, you watch anybody watch combat sports, you know that you want that size advantage in both these guys. You know, once again, we kind of mentioned the weight classes, and you see a matchup here with two guys kind of carrying the same weight into this second round fight here.
Second round, first fight, lightweight bracket. D. Collins taking on Pedro.
D getting a little last-minute advice from his corner.
Mr. El Toro. Both these guys, mid-30s, still in here mixing it up. Much respect to these guys. Let's see how they do tonight.
Touch of gloves here to start us out.
Pedro coming out. Both fighters coming out orthodox.
D looking like he's trying to establish a jab, and Pepe El Toro slinging that overhand right like he did in that first round fight that he had.
Pedro's got one of those styles where he just kind of, he plops forward. He's a little bit on his toes here, but mostly flat-footed, just kind of plopping forward. Pretty good high guard or pretty good high shield with his hands. And just real good at kind of just throwing those overhand rights.
Good jab. He's kind of bouncing in with that jab with the footwork.
I like how he's setting it up with the fakes.
Oh, good right hand. Got D on
us a little bit.
Wobbly legs.
I don't know
he
why
didn't follow
not pressing forward.
Why did he not finish it?
Why he's not pressing forward? What's going on here?
Not sure.
Both fighters talking to the ref, and the ref's like,
get on him. Oh, he puts him down.
Overhand right. I think the referee was expecting, I think D. Collins was expecting the referee to step in with like an 8 count.
Why he's going to step in? I mean, he landed the shot. You got to go in there and you got to finish this guy off. He could have finished the fight in the first round.
Very interesting conversation
there. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know why Pepe is mad at the ref. I mean, you hurt your opponent. You got to press forward. You got to press forward. So he did indeed, you know, after a brief pause in action there, he did indeed come forward and put D. Collins down with that patented overhand right that we've seen so far tonight from Pepe El Toro.
So the crowd getting a little bit more live here. We're getting some guys just walking around the Possum Town Throwdown. I mean, you could just walk up to the corner, just talk to your fighter.
Yeah, my man here, he's got the Crown Royal in the can. Mike got the little mixed Crown and Coke, giving D. Collins a little advice.
Yeah, trying to give him some advice for the second round. See if he can
what advice are you giving D. Collins here? Keep that left hand up.
Circle away from the power. Circle away from the power of Pedro. Keep that left hand glued high. Use your range. You know, they both coming in at 165 pounds, but two totally different frames. You got Pedro a little bit more shorter and compact. You got D. Collins a little bit longer.
I'm not sure if D. Collins is going to answer the bell here. He's kind of sitting on the stool a little bit longer than what the ref liked here. Yeah, I think he might still be wobbly. It's not going to take not take much. He's a little gun shy right now.
2 shots right to the
back
of the head.
But he lands a good right hand of himself, but he's dropping that left hand. But he's
too excited. He's got Pepe hurt.
Oh, Pepe with the power. Now they're tying up right here in front of us.
Good start in round 2 here.
Good action here in round 2. We were questioning D. Collins, and he comes out and lands a big hand and really changes the pace of this fight. If he presses right now, I see a little blood trickling out of Pepe. Oh, he puts him down. He's out. He's out.
D. Collins knocked out
Pedro,
here.
just when I thought that D. Collins was changing the outcome of this fight, Pedro lands that overhand right. with the blood trickling out of his nose.
Several people trying to get in the ring here. Joey, I think, trying to get control. Stepping back.
Well, you got to let the doctors do what they do.
Pedro. This is the fight game.
He's
It
talking.
happens. It happens. D's back up, sitting down on his butt here.
He landed the shot. He landed the shot that he wanted. You know, D came out, and you know,
credit to a guy that comes out and goes down on his
like
shield.
I said, exactly.
He could have went out in that second round. He didn't have to answer the bell.
He didn't have to answer the bell in the second round. He got hurt.
He came out. He actually, you know, landed his own right hand there early in the second round, and was kind of turning the tides of the fight before Pedro was able to kind of land that overhand right that we've seen him land.
It's our first knockout of the night. First knockout of the night. We've seen a
that's going to be a $500 bonus in Pedro's pocket.
Pedro gets an extra $500 there and punches his ticket into the finals for the lightweight bracket for that Possum Town Throwdown belt and the $1,500. Great fight, though. You know, you see these guys are really starting to get comfortable now and really, you know, starting to impose their will.
I think you see two guys. I think those two very talented guys. You know, two talented fighters coming in.
That's a competitive fight.
Yeah, real good fight. Much credit to D. Collins. Again, we kind of mentioned
in there checking on Mr. Collins.
You know, D was hurt. D was hurt towards the end of the first round. And again, much respect to him. He didn't have to answer that bell, but he did. And, you know, Pedro was able to come to get in, get the finish here in the second round.
And the crowd is now on their feet, right? They've been waiting for that KO all night.
First one of the night.
Unfortunately, D. Collins suffers the right hand of destruction from Pepe El Toro, but you know, once again, no reason to hang his head. Great fighter. He's back on his feet. He's going to meet in the center. They're going to dap it up. That's what you want to see here at Possum Town Throwdown. So we got the Raging Cajun announcing Pepe El Toro as the winner of our semifinal lightweight fight here. That's what the crowd was looking for that knockout.
So good sportsmanship between the two fighters. Moving on to the second fight. We're going to see who Pedro is going to take on in the finals for that lightweight bracket here coming up.
Second fight of our
Traquez Cox
lightweight
taking
bracket.
on Tobias Wilson.
Semifinals here.
Two Columbus boys going to come in here and mix it up for the crowd.
Crowd, like you mentioned it right before that fight, that crowd is getting more and more pumped as the night goes on. I don't know if that's the alcohol blowing through their veins.
A little bit of both, but I also think that too, they're towards right before our first intermission, huge fight between Fields and who was Fields' opponent in the first round?
It was Tank Fields versus Joseph Foreman.
Yeah, what a way to end the first
absolutely. That was an action-packed fight.
And the crowd's been lit ever since. The ladies came in and brought it. Now the lightweight fighters are coming in here and bringing it.
So we got Tobias Wilson coming out now for his second fight of the night. This is his second event, and we mentioned in his first fight the experience that he showed, the footwork that he showed, the discipline that he showed.
Yeah, I think he's going to come in, try to do more of the same. Cell phone in his pocket.
Cell phone out of his pocket. I love slugfest, huh? I love tough man competitions. You just don't know what you're going to see.
So he's going to be taking on Traquez Cox, Mr. Taliban.
I'll tell you something I noticed about Tobias. You know, he's very lean around the midsection and well-built kid. But if you look at his legs, he's got really solid legs.
Pretty good.
You know, and that equates to explosion and power, movement, basically everything that you need to be very successful in boxing or combat sports in general.
Yeah, that's good base. Everything comes from the ground up. So having a good, solid leg system, good base really helps when you sit down on those punches. So we're going to see what Mr. Wilson can do against
Taking
Sharquez
on
Cox.
Sharquez Cox, Mr. Taliban.
From Hood
So he's been
Connected
training
Gym,
his
been
whole
training
life.
his whole life, fighting and training his whole life.
He wants to win this money. Guys, give the size nod here to Tobias, coming in 150 pounds. Mr. Taliban weighing in 140 pounds.
First
Get this
round.
party started.
Yeah.
First round here. This is going to be a
about
good
to get
fight.
underway. Both fighters coming out orthodox. Wilson looked to touch gloves.
Sharquez said, no, we don't want that. Kind of swats at him. Parries his touch of gloves.
Good overhand right there
Yeah, they're ready.
by Cox.
And Wilson
Fast
gives
hands
him
by
the
both
nod.
these guys. Cox
Wilson
showing
gives him
fast
the nod.
hands.
Now they're standing in as Cox switches to southpaw.
Fast hands by Cox.
There's
Wilson's got to get off the ring. He's got to get off the ropes. He's got to get out the
He
corner.
ties up there, and that's going to give him a chance to get that separation, maybe work
the
that
center.
longer, that jab.
He's got to take the center of the ring.
And he's really plotting that jab out there. He tells you kind of what his strategy is for this this first round is to kind of work
Wilson,
long, right?
Yeah, Wilson's good movement, good footwork.
Good.
Lands a
Coming in
good
with the
jab,
jab,
but Cox
but
follows up with a good combo.
Cox answers with some
And
heavy
gets Wilson.
shots of his own.
You know, if you can keep Wilson back, kind of backpedaling or on his heels, he's going to have success in this fight. You know, if you stand there and you allow Wilson to just jab off and throw those good long straight shots, it's going to be a long night for you. But Cox was able to kind of keep Wilson moving backwards the whole
You know,
first
we've
round.
seen that a couple times tonight where fighters were able to fight long and kind of freeze their opponent. And Sharquez Cox said he's not having any of that as he comes forward and really applies the power, you know, and gets in there in tight, that dirty box and that clinch game.
That's what makes this rule set interesting with the 1 minute rounds is Cox is able to kind of come forward and fight in that type of style. You wonder like what the difference in a game plan would be compared to a 3 minute round versus a 1 minute round. Cox is able to kind of implement a higher pace game plan where he can kind of walk forward and land shots, keep Wilson on his heels.
Right, that's
keep a high
just
pace.
part of the rule set. You're absolutely
pretty cool.
right. You know, it definitely changed the format there. Probably be cautious as we start this second round with a touch of gloves.
Both fighters coming out orthodox again. Wilson looking to establish that jab.
Yeah, Wilson really has a good jab. Just Cox has been able to shut it down in the first
Switching to
round. We'll
southpaw.
see if he's able to do some of the same here in the second round.
Cox kind of he's got a bad habit of opening up wide before he throws his shots. Like he don't
Lifting
just
his head up.
Yeah, he kind of telegraphs his shots a little bit, but he's still having some success here. Ate a jab there.
I think Tobias, you could definitely tell, is maybe the more experienced fighter, but Cox is just a gritty
Cox
guy.
is gritty. I think Cox fights better from the orthodox. For some reason, he came out in the second round, swapped to southpaw pretty early.
He's back,
but
orthodox.
he's
He
keeping
kind of
the
just
pace on him.
switches. He switches back and forth, maybe with his
Just kind of
punches.
staying in Wilson's face. Staying in Wilson's face and kind of frustrating. He's trying to touch gloves again.
Yeah, Wilson's got to quit touching gloves. He's got to start connecting with that one.
Can't be too nice in a fight. You can't be nice in a fight. You just got to fight. So
Not when you're fighting for $1,500
not shit.
and that Possum Town Throwdown belt.
You could be fighting for $2 and you got to fight hard. You can't fight nice.
Well, that's a definition.
Fighting ain't
That's
nice.
a difference in fighters and competitors.
So looking at round
Cox
1
looks
and
tired.
2, yeah, he looks a little winded.
just
But
looks
looking at
tired.
round 1 and 2, Cox has showed a pretty good skill set. That pressure that he's been putting on Wilson, I think
if
you could
Tobias-
easily put him up 2 rounds.
I think if Tobias does not put his foot on the gas and really impose his will here in the third round, he's going to look back at this video and be disappointed. You know, I really think he's the more experienced fighter. He looks like he has the better footwork. You know, he's really got to put it together in this third round, maybe get a stoppage here.
I really think he's trying to be too nice.
He's also listed as the larger fighter.
Another touch of gloves here as round 3 gets underway.
Cox is once again kind of bringing that chin really high.
This fight's too close for Wilson to be trying to fight at range. He's got to really just put his foot on the gas, try to
well,
put the pressure on Cox.
Wilson's not doing bad with that 1-2 because he sees that jaw up high, but you know, he's just not getting through. He's got to throw it a little bit more.
Tough one to judge tough one to judge so far. As we move through the middle half of the third round, very tough one to judge.
Yeah, Wilson just he puts him down.
The right hand there, I think, landed. And
Ref's going to issue the 8 count.
Wilson maybe just a little fatigued. Wilson again trying to touch gloves with Cox. He's got to get after it here. He's got to understand he's down.
Yeah, you know, it's all fun and games, but sometimes you can't. Like
Again, sometimes,
you can't be nice.
Yeah, and again, sometimes, you know, when you watch fights and you listen to commentary, sometimes we could be kind of critical of fighters, but, you know, and it's much easier said than done, me sitting here rather than in that ring. But, you know, you got to understand you got to have a competitive nature and a competitive drive to want to be successful in fighting. You can't just go in there and touch gloves every time you land a shot on someone.
It's a gentleman's sport, but also you
only got 1 minute rounds. You don't have time to touch gloves.
And that's where a lot of people struggle with this rule set. And we mentioned earlier that Sabayev, looking like maybe he's the more experienced, got the boxing experience, kind of the boxing background. Maybe he let that fight get away from him, I believe.
I think so too. I think Cox is probably going to move on to take on Pedro in the finals of the lightweight bracket. So you're going to have one of the heavier fighters possibly taking on the lighter fighter, the lightest fighter in this bracket. With Charquez coming in at 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Taking on the tough Pedro, Mr. El Toro, who just had an awesome knockout.
Fantastic knockout.
In the second round. The fight
punching his ticket to the finals and also getting those 5 crisp $100 bills added to his bonus for the night. Well, we got a split decision, maybe an upset. They give Cox a nod.
I think Cox did enough to win it. Again,
much
credit to Wilson for going out there and putting it all out there, but I just think just a little bit more grit, he could have edged that one out over Cox. I think, like you said, he let it get away from him.
Well, especially now, you see the judges ruling that as a split decision.
They found it closer.
They found maybe seeing it a little bit closer.
I believe going into the third round, it could have went to either fighter. It was who was going to impose their will.
That knockdown in that third round was very important now looking back at it on a split decision.
So we're going to move on to our semifinal bracket, semifinal round of our middleweight bracket. Bobby Williams taking on Jamal Roby. Probably going to be one of your better fights here between these two guys.
Yeah, 2 very experienced guys. You got Bobby Williams coming out of Relentless MMA, Miami, Florida. We mentioned it earlier. Bobby being a guy that I believe he got knocked down in the first round or maybe slipped in the first round of his first round fight.
Thought he was actually hurt there towards the end of first round. In his first round matchup, we thought he was kind of hurt. Was able to come in
second round and third round
put his foot on the gas in the second. Kept more of the same in the third. Able to get the victory in his first round bout. And he has made his way into the ring here at Possum Town Throwdown.
He's got his hands full with No Limit Rowe. Rowe, one of the more experienced fighters that we've seen so far tonight. He's not going to be one of those. He's not going to allow Bobby. If Jamal starts setting his pace and getting going, he's not going to allow Bobby to get back in that fight. Bobby's really going to have to start fast here.
When you talk about a fighter's prime or a man's prime, when you look at the age, you had, fighters of all different ages. They were jumping up quick there. I don't know what happened there.
Going on up quick. Something happened here. But all kinds of crazy stuff here at Possum Town Throwdown, Columbus, Mississippi, Columbus Fairgrounds.
So Roby and Williams getting started here. Round 1, Roby throws a big overhand
right hand. DJ felt the wind there.
Some very skilled guys here. Williams in the southpaw, Roby in the orthodox stance. Roby really needs to beat that lead leg and land that right straight.
Yeah, he's letting
Williams. Williams did a great job.
I knew this was going to be a good fight.
Yeah, good. Good shots. Good.
Roby backing him into the corner. Almost maybe took a shot. I don't know if he stumbled a little bit there, but he's pushing B.J. Williams around, and B.J. being the bigger fighter, he can't allow him to do that.
Both these guys are big for the middleweight class. Roby coming in 195, Williams at a little over 200 pounds. So pretty evenly matched in that aspect, and skill-wise so far as well.
I tell you,
Roby
Williams done a good job starting fast this fight. You know, that's what we were mentioning just a second ago. I felt like he needed to get a good, quick start, unlike what he did in his first round fight. He waited till the second round to get going, but he's
probably the most impressive shot that Williams was landing in that first round matchup was that straight left, and he was able to landed a couple times here against Roby. Roby, I think, is the better fighter on the inside. He throws a lot of good shots on the inside when he's on the. He's got a sneaky right uppercut.
That right uppercut to the body. We noticed that in the first fight,
and sometimes it leads through and lands on the head as well. So a little bit more of that in the second round for Roby. I think Williams is going to have to just keep beating that lead leg, trying to land that left straight.
Yeah,
good first round.
Tough one to call. Orthodox versus southpaw. You know, beating the lead leg, landing the straight hand, the straight punch, the straight cross. That's the name of the game.
And the time frame of these rounds also makes it a lot harder for these judges because there's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of fight time, right?
Right.
You got 3 minutes in a fight total. 1 minute per round. That's tough to call.
That's what makes Roby good at this rule set. You know, you mentioned earlier he looks like the veteran as we start off fast here.
Good
landing some big shots from Roby. But there you go, right there to that clinch, working into the body.
Uppercut.
And you got to think, that's taking time off the clock as well. He's winning there. When he's pushing BJ around, he's winning that
Dictating the pace of the fight, dictating where the fight goes and the distance. He's got to get out that corner there against Williams.
Good turn. The referee breaks him up, but he was kind of timing that shot.
That was perfect.
Ready to
that was perfect.
clinch
That's
and
what
turn.
you got to do. He knew Williams was going to try to land that left straight. Good overhand right there by Roby.
The outside foot and throwing the right hand, but BJ
Williams is back in that orthodox. Williams is actually fighting from the orthodox
Roby
stance
get
here.
back to the clinch. Roby got a circle away from the corner there. He allowed BJ to come right back and clinch back by moving into the corner.
So another competitive round between Roby and Williams.
Gosh, I'm glad I'm not a judge on this one. I knew this. Oh, good.
Roby actually in the southpaw.
Good.
Rip
to the body.
The second round with a good right hook to the body, and then went up top with it. Didn't land clean up top, but that one to the body really dug in as Roby swapped to the southpaw stance there towards the end of the second round and had some success with that right hook.
I think, like we said, the fights are getting more competitive. They're getting better. The experience level is going up. You look, both these guys on the stool, they look fresh. Roby's ready to go. His cornermen they're not even talking to him anymore. He's sitting on the stool.
Intense, man. He's a focused guy. When he gets in there, I know you said you mentioned about cornering, get a chance to corner him at the Southern Head Slugfest. And I know you've seen it firsthand.
The only thing he says in the corner is yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything you tell him, he says yes, sir. Now, BJ's cornerman giving him some sound advice over there.
Great camp, Relentless MMA.
Absolutely.
He's going to have some good corner advice over there as well. So we'll see who.
It's a close fight.
Edge it out here in the third round.
Neither guy can give an inch here. Oh, and Roby comes out and throws a big right hand to open the third stanza here.
He's just got a way of kind of understanding this rule set and understanding these short rounds and when he's got to push the pace and when he can kind of coast.
Oh, good right hand. He kind of works into the clinch here, working that right uppercut to the body like you mentioned earlier. BJ working the jab.
Roby will land that
good
right
good
uppercut. They come over the top with a hook.
Good 1-2 from Williams, though. This is a good competitive
Both these guys
fight.
got good vision.
He goes 1, 2, 3.
Williams landing a good,
good pull, jab there from Williams. Well, I think Williams is realizing that Roby's trying to pull on his shot and then, counter and clinch.
A couple of those uppercuts.
Williams caught the counter before Roby had a chance to.
A couple of those uppercuts landing kind of around the belt line. I wouldn't call them low, but
it's a third round. The end of the third round here.
Very competitive fight between Roby and Williams. That's a toss-up.
That is a toss-up. Neither guy can really be ashamed of their performance. That's two high-level boxers that we've seen tonight.
That's a fight where you'd love to see them fight maybe 2-minute rounds. So we'll see who gets the nod here.
As the judges are starting to tally their scorecards.
Both these guys really showed a good skill set. Probably two better fighters in the whole competition.
That could easily be the finals.
Absolutely. It's sad that one of these guys are going to have to go home.
Both guys
I wouldn't necessarily
fresh.
say a loser, but, you know, one guy's going to move on and one guy's going to have to go, obviously get put out the competition, but both guys really showed a good skill set in this one.
Close fight. Like I said, and it's a war of attrition. We don't know what's going to happen with this, this next fight. You know, someone could get injured or not be able to continue, and you might see these guys rematch. You know, you see that all the time in these tough man competitions.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by split decision.
Another split decision.
And the red corner.
They're going to give the nod to Jamal
Good
Roby.
fight. Could have went either way.
Rowe.
No Limit Rowe's going to move on to
BJ Williams
the
has
finals.
nothing to be ashamed of. That was a
absolutely.
great fight.
Absolutely great
and it's a
performance
shame
by
somebody
Bobby.
has to lose in that fight.
Williams is one of those guys. I kind of, you know, as much as I wanted to see that matchup here in the second round, it could have easily been that finals matchup, but unfortunately Williams getting edged out by Roby in this one. Roby's going to move on to face the winner of Blunt and Higginbotham.
Yeah, he punched his ticket to fight for that $1,500, didn't he? As Raging Cajun getting ready to announce our next bout here. The second fight of the second round here of our middleweight division. First coming into the ring, we got Batavius Q. Blunt.
19-year-old fighting out of Columbus, Mississippi. Works at the Chick-fil-A.
Got some
Enjoys basketball, football.
Here. Representing Columbus, Mississippi, hometown boy. We'll see.
Higginbotham coming in. I was real impressed with Higginbotham in his first fight. He used his range pretty well. I believe he got the finish over his first round opponent.
I believe he finished him as well.
I think he fought Destin Hahn.
Yep, Han Solo. Remember, he absolutely.
So Wyatt Higginbotham, 21 years old, Mr. Tombstone out of Memphis, Tennessee. 6 months of training, full-time student. Coming in at 185 pounds, taking on Q, coming in at 180 pounds. We're going to see who's going to take on Jamal Roby in the finals of this middleweight bracket.
You got no experience versus 6 months of experience.
Q's got it down. You know, again, not saying he's sandbagging, but Q showed a pretty sound skill set in the first fight. I wouldn't say he's got zero experience. And some guys are just natural. You know, some guys, you know, maybe he doesn't train, you know, maybe he doesn't have the experience training and just one of those guys that's just got good natural vision, good natural reflexes, you know, good hand-eye coordination, got a sports background that he kind of mentioned. So all that comes into play.
As we start round one here, Wyatt looking to stay long, establish that jab. I think that's going to be the tell of this fight. Can Q overcome the length of Higginbotham?
Q's got good movement. I'm telling you, he's got good movement for someone that, again, he's kind
Good
of
shoulders, good head
advertised as zero experience or zero training experience.
Another guy kind of keeping his chin high, though.
Yeah.
You know, you hate to see that. You feel like, you know, you can coach that out of somebody.
So I'm saying you can refine those skills and really have a good fighter in Blunt. Not saying that he's not already, but, you know, bring that skill set even further along than what it already is. And, you know, it's not easy fighting a long guy like Higginbotham.
By Q.
He's able to land his shots. But Q, again, just kind of
good left hook there by Higginbotham, though.
Q does a good job, and he did in the first round as well, just staying close enough to land his shots. Good right hand, and he's kind of pouring it on. Higginbotham
round here, Q
closing out quick.
You know,
with a fury.
They always say, you know, who leaves the impact, that last 15, 20 seconds of the round, who leaves the impact of the to the judges. And I think Q did just that in that first round. He kind of poured it on right there at the end of the first round to steal that round.
The first round, I'm going to give it to Blunt. Higginbotham had his moments. But again, you kind of mentioned the fights are getting more competitive. the talent are starting to kind of shine through for all these fighters. And you're starting to see some really competitive matchups here in the second round of the Possum Town Throwdown.
Yeah, absolutely. The competition's getting better so far of our in our semifinal fights in the lightweight, now the middleweight bracket. They've been
moving right along. It won't be no time, and we're going to be watching these guys, one of these guys take on Jamal Roby in the finals of tonight's middleweight bracket. See, getting going here in the second round.
We start the second round
Higginbotham
here.
really needs to use that reach. Keep Q back.
Laying at 1-2.
Q's got good reflexes. It's quick.
Good
left hook.
Good left hook.
I think Higginbotham had landed his own left hook.
Good right hand, left hook.
You mentioned that, how he popped his chin up.
Man, I think that Wyatt found it right there.
And Higginbotham's walking him down. Q's doing a good job trying to keep him back.
I think Higginbotham really got to put his foot on the gas. He's landing his shots. Q's landing his shots, coming forward. Higginbotham having no choice but just to cover up.
I was impressed with Q's conditioning in the his first round fight. And he's showing more of the same here, able to keep a pretty high pace against Higginbotham. I think that's been the difference.
Wyatt kind of had a pull there and answered with the right hand of his own and landed another right hand, but I think Q's landing cleaner shots here. These guys are really throwing down hard. Good fight, good second round.
Closes the second round, very similar to how he closed the first round, kind of with the fury there, kind of keeping Higginbotham on his heels.
Yeah, he put the foot on the gas right there, like he knows how to win rounds.
So one more round to go here between Higginbotham and Blunt to see who's going to take on Jamal Roby in the middleweight finals.
One of our beautiful ring girls
taking home that $1,500,
indicating the start of round 3 here at Possum Town Throwdown. Once again, I got to do the t-shirt.
Tight. CPAC owes you one, probably, huh? Making the drive. Mississippi, all the way to Columbus, Mississippi to see this second showing of the Possum Town Throwdown. And again, I'm excited to be here. I'm glad CPAC had us out. Savage Fights Promotions helping out with this show. Look us up on Facebook, YouTube, Savage Fights.
Social media.
So we got a lot of stuff going on here. Got some grappling series coming up.
Got the start of round 3 here for
round
Possum
3
Town Throwdown.
Going down, Higginbotham and Blunt. Blunt
Man,
starts
Wyatt's
off
got to put a little bit more
right.
pop on that jab, though. He's landing it.
Good right
He's got to put some pop on it. And he's maybe just using it kind of just
good
to set
right
up that
straight
right
again
hand.
by Higginbotham. He's really starting to land those long shots.
He's got to get a stoppage here, I think.
I think he's down by 2.
Oh, good right hand from Q.
Higginbotham's got to get his head off the center line when he throws his shots. I think that would help because Q's kind of answering. Good right hand. He's got Q against the ring. Q's had.
Good right hand from Q. Answers back.
He's able to work his way out of that corner.
Right. These guys are throwing down, throwing big shots. Good miss. Wyatt made him miss and landed straight there. Tying up, getting a little dirty boxing in. Somebody's mouthpiece is out.
It's going to be Blunt's mouthpiece. Oh, no.
Referee a little confused.
That was definitely Blunt's mouthpiece. Okay, that's the end of the fight. That's kind of a
lackluster way to end the fight
there. But good competitive fight between Blunt and Higginbotham. In my opinion, I think you're going to see Blunt moving on to the finals. Not a bad showing by Higginbotham. I don't think he did enough to edge Blunt out. I think he was down by 2 rounds going in there, and then the third round, I think he was down by 2, and I don't think he didn't edge him out there towards the end of the fight.
I agree. Higginbotham looks exhausted, but that'd be the only reason he can lay his head down is if he's a little tired because he fought a great fight.
Yeah, both guys fought a great fight. I got to give Q some credit. Anytime he was backed up into the ring or into the corner, into the ropes, he was able to kind of fight his way out. So
the one thing about Higginbotham is he was answering. He was answering with shots of his own, which was very impressive. We await the judge's decision here.
Waiting a decision here.
You never know. We had 2 split decisions in a row. Not sure.
I think the last 2 fights are a little bit more competitive than this one, just in my opinion.
Well, your opinion don't matter. It's
It
only the
doesn't. I'm
judges.
not a judge. You're right.
not a
I'm
judge.
not a judge. So
Raging
we'll see.
Cage getting ready to announce a winner here.
you called it.
Another split decision. Wow. Yeah, they got it right.
Yeah, I believe the judge got it right there. Cratavious Blunt, Mr. Q, 19 years old. Hometown boy going to be taking on Jamal Roby in the finals.
They got it right. You know, Q did a good job. He definitely won those first 2 rounds. Kind of really put the pressure on his opponent right there at the end of those rounds. And you know, like you do when you coach and everybody else, you know, it's you tell your fighters finish the round strong, right?
Finish the round strong and finish the fight with your hands up.
Absolutely, you always put your hands up regardless of the outcome.
He's out.
I'll tell you what, you think the first round is the heavyweight division.
All right, well, this is the finals then, huh?
I think this is
All right, so I was just told that Mr. Holden Fields is out. He is out of the competition, so we're actually moving forward with this heavyweight bracket, and this is going to be your finals.
This is the heavyweight.
Wait, hold on, stand by. We're still trying to figure out what's going on. All right, so Albert,
I got a little controversy here at Possum Town Throwdown.
I believe
We're going to have a little
loser of
heavyweight
field, so
shuffling.
you're going to have Joseph Foreman.
Joseph Foreman, the big guy,
I
coming
believe,
back.
is going to come back, and he's going to fight the winner of this fight.
But
in
you
the
said
round.
it. You
So
said it. And we were talking about this format and how, you know, you keep your, you know, I told the guys earlier when I was giving the fighters meeting, I told them, I said, keep your wraps on. Don't ever take your wraps off because you never know what's going to happen. And it sounds like the Tank Holden Fields has dropped out of the heavyweight bracket, which will now move Joseph Foreman to our finals.
Yeah, so Big Mac's back in, 340 pounds of Big Mac. Joseph Foreman is back in this competition. He's going to take on the winner between Ian Scott and Mason Russian. Mason Russian was the gentleman that got the first round bye. So first time you're seeing Russian compete tonight, and I think he's got a tall task in Scott. In Scott really had a good first round fight.
We start to shuffle through our paperwork. We got to change a few things up here, huh, Joe?
Yeah,
Change the pace here.
it's all part of it.
All right, as we get this heavyweight fight started, got the Raging Cage
Russian and Scott.
and these guys
Scott's
are
coming out, throwing
big
heavy.
shots. Ian Scott with the pull.
Russian
Mason
down.
kind of just trips. And it looks like he's okay.
I've seen Scott kind of throw a blow possibly when Russian was on the ground.
Mason Russian
So
being a
gotta-
contractor from Columbus, Mississippi, one of the smaller guys in this heavyweight bracket at 210 pounds. We didn't get to do a good intro for him. He's a single parent. These guys are tied up now. We know Ian Scott, who got the dub in the first round against Joseph Gregory, another big man that we had in this tournament. He
think
puts Mason down with a good right hand.
Russian, I think, is hurt. He's
to
shaking
look-
his head.
I don't know if he was shaking his head. He didn't like that punch or he was not sure where he was at. But either way, that closes out round one with the old standing 8 count there. And Mason Russian going to the wrong corner.
So the referee and Scott having a little discussion there. I don't think, I think the referee's just trying to keep control of the fight. And I've been impressed with the ref throughout the night, you know, being able to maintain control, especially with such a loose format and a loose rule set. You know, these guys are coming in, they're throwing a lot of crazy shots, a little unorthodox shots. Sometimes it's not the cleanest shots, but they land and the fighters get hurt. I think the referee's done a good job managing that throughout the night.
Yeah, that's the thing about this slugfest format when people are throwing so many punches in a round. You know, sometimes it's hard to tell if it's an actual shot that they put them down. And you see Ian Scott's cornerman with the patented hole in the bottom of the water bottle trick to get water to his fighter. Touch of gloves to start here for the second round.
Russian coming out southpaw. Scott's trying to finish
Wow.
this. Those 5
Wow.
right hands.
Oh,
He can't hit him when he's down, though. He's got to stop throwing punches after Russian's on
he's
the
going to
mat.
get himself disqualified if he keeps
He's
doing
got
that.
to stop. And I think he was just warned by the box commission. A little bit more self-control there by Scott.
Yeah,
He's
we've
kind of
seen
pulling his
that.
head straight up. And Russian falls.
Does a good job.
forward.
Russian just kind of falls there. Ian Scott controls
A little off
himself.
balance. I think Russian a little off balance. He's complaining about his shoes there, or the footing. Maybe not necessarily his shoes, but maybe how they are holding him upright or how it's affecting his footwork here with this cloth canvas.
Oh, Ian Scott knocks his mouthpiece out.
Trying to finish.
Oh, Mason is on wobbly feet. He's looking at the crowd, shaking his head.
That's a tough stoppage there by the ref.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
man.
And
I
Scott
know he
was
spit
kind of
his
moving
mouthpiece
forward, trying
out,
to
but
throw those last couple shots to possibly
and
finish
his
the fight.
cornerman holding up the West Side sign. I'm not sure what that is, but
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure what's going on there. But
So in round 2 there, I think Scott's probably well in control of this fight.
yeah, I think
Mason's gonna have
as
to come
long
out
as,
and get the
as long
finish.
as Scott fights smart, he's on his way to the finals of this heavyweight division.
So again, remember the shakeup, which you had Fields falling out of the tournament.
So you had the fight that ended the first round between Joseph Foreman and Holden Fields, the one that got the crowd on his feet. Big Mac and Mr. Fields, the tank, throwing down, and Holden Fields was, because of the fight being so physical, he was not able to continue. And so there's, Possum Town Throwdown. We're going to bring Joseph Foreman back, and he's going to fight the winner of this bout right here. I can actually see him right now getting gloved back up, getting his hands taped back up, getting ready to come out, maybe fight for a chance to win for that $1,500. So referee.
Start of round 3. Russian staying in that southpaw stance. He's just not doing much as far as his footwork. He really needs to be circling and trying to beat that lead leg. Not sure what landed there. Maybe a right straight. Still, he's complaining about his footing.
Not sure what he's complaining about. Everybody's got
Showing a little bit of sportsmanship there.
allowing him to get his complaint out to the complaint department, but he's going to answer with a big right hand. And
He's down.
Mason's not getting his footing correct. And a referee's going to actually give him, I think he said he's done. He's complaining about his feet. So Mason Rushing is going to make the decision not to continue here, and that's going to move Ian Scott to our heavyweight finals versus Joseph Foreman.
So we have all our finals set here at Possum Town Throwdown. I believe we're going to take a quick intermission again, and after the official calling of this match or official decision is ruled in the ring, Scott
Got 4
is
more
intense.
fights on the night. Scott's excited. He's coming out. He's gonna fight for a chance to win $1,500. He's got a tall task ahead of him. Joseph Foreman, even though he lost that decision in that first fight, he's a big guy.
Yeah,
He's a big guy to be
very
fighting.
big guy. I believe he was 341 pounds. So pretty interesting matchup
Absolutely.
there.
As we wait for the judge and the ref, Raging Cajun, to announce the decision here. What a night of fight so far.
Yeah, it's been fun. Raging Cajun making the call here, giving the victory to Ian Scott.
making it
The
official.
The final fighter moving to the championship.
His cornerman is absolutely thrilled. I hope the cameraman's getting that. He's absolutely thrilled, excited for his fighter.
So another quick intermission.
Intermission before we get to our finals.
So give us a few minutes and we'll be back.
All right, guys, we're about to get back started here. But right before our finals, we want to go ahead and give out our awards of the night. We got a knockout of the night, and we got a fight of the night award that I believe is $500.
Yeah, I think that both are going to get awarded $500 for tonight's efforts. So Pedro El Toro Maciel getting that extra $500 that we talked about earlier.
Getting ready for the finals back there, but he is going to get an extra $500 added to that. Chance to compete for the $1,500 in just a few moments. I think he's geared up. I'm not sure if he's going to come out and get his knockout of the night.
So he's back there getting ready for the big money, the $1,500. So here comes Pedro making his way out to collect his
that big right hand he landed in the second round.
So a big knockout. Pedro Maciel.
Crowd giving him a little love
with the big knockout over D. Collins. We talked about earlier during our intermission. A great night of fights so far. Very impressed. First time with us being here at the Possum Throwdown.
I tell you, I've had a good time, and the night's not over yet. Now we're giving out our Fight of the Night award. A couple of fights that could have been called Fight of the Night. Very competitive fights, especially that second round. The second round of fights was very competitive. I'm going to give the nod to B.J. Williams and Jamal Roby. That was a
very competitive fight.
Heck of a fight there. That that round two of our middleweight fight. Jamal Roby was able to edge out the decision.
I think that was another one of those split decisions. Seems like we had about 3 or 4 split decisions in a row. 2 of your better fighters that was in the bracket.
Absolutely, more experienced guys.
Are in the competition.
Great fight.
So good sportsmanship, good showmanship between the two gentlemen. 2 competitors both getting $250 in their pocket. So good for them.
That's all to them. And then Roby getting ready to compete for another $1,500 later on tonight. All right, I think we're going to jump right into our finals.
We're going to get into all of our final championship rounds.
What if they go headgear off like they do at Southern Hand Slugfest? I wonder if they're going headgears off for these finals. I know that's an option that they allow the finals to do in the Southern Hand Slugfest. BJ getting a little love from his cornerman. Well deserved. We get ready for our finals here. Our first up, we're going to have our female finals. We're going to have Brittany Edwards versus Kenna Turner. Both fighters winning decisions in the first round, the opening round.
I think we're going in our women's division, right?
Absolutely, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. So Brittany Edwards edging out Devin Carr in a close fight in the semifinals to punch her ticket here to our finals. Kenna Turner taking out Addie Balcom by decision in her semifinal fight, punch her ticket here
Tall
for our
task.
finals.
That was a tall task by Kenna Turner in the first round.
Once again, you know, we mentioned earlier, you know, about this being an overweight bracket, and hats off to these two, Brittany Edwards and Kenna Turner, 2 of the lighter fighters in this bracket. And they are getting ready to compete for $1,500 in that Possum Throwdown pink belt. Will be awarded in just a few moments.
Who's going to wrap that Possum Town Throwdown championship belt around their waist?
Fun fact, why do they call Columbus, Mississippi Possum Town?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot. I looked it up last night. It had something to do with the original settler here. I believe his last name or nickname was Opossum. And so the Choctaw and Cherokee Indians started calling this town Possum Town because they would come and trade with the gentleman who's said, I couldn't remember if it was his last name or if his nickname was Possum. So I had to look it up last night. We were coming down to watch the Possum Town Throwdown, so I had to kind of figure out.
There you go.
This Possum
Get a little
Town
history lesson from Joe Jitsu there. He's not just all fighting. He's got a little historical background of the tournament we had tonight. So we get the final information set here. This crowd is getting ready. They're getting it rambunctious. They're ready to go. I see a lot of empty soldiers on the tables here behind us. Looks like everybody's had a good time so far tonight.
There's some more good times to come here with the finals. Ready to get this thing going.
Got our referee getting in the ring now. So we're just moments away here from the Possum Town Throwdown Finals. In our first fight for $1,500 cash money. In that Possum Town Throwdown belt. Be the baddest beast in town, I believe that's what they say. There we got Brittany Edwards coming out first.
Raging Cajun making the introduction here for Brittany Edwards. Old Boucher, hometown gal coming from Columbus, Mississippi, representing her town, fighting out of the red corner.
I believe we got to make sure we get all that right.
Traditionally, blue corner comes out before red, right?
Yeah, most of the time. I think everybody does that except for BKFC.
Really?
If you watch BKFC, the blue fighter always walks second. I'm not sure where that came from.
Nonetheless, Brittany Edwards is in the ring at this time, and now
she's
you got
in the red, or she's in the blue corner. So we're gonna blue corner fighter, even though she has red gloves
swap
on.
up the gloves there.
It's all
or
good.
Mix up the gloves. We're not going to let it
gotta
throw us down. We know we got Brittany Edwards taking on Keena Turner, who is making her way to the ring at this time.
I would guarantee you these two young ladies do not care what corner they're in. They've been waiting all night to get this belt wrapped around their waist and count out those $1,500 bills.
So Devin Carr, first round opponent of Brittany Edwards, coming out to cheer her former foe on.
Glad to see she recovered. She
bounced back.
Extremely exhausted after that first round battle that she had with Brittany Edwards, and looks like Brittany's ready to go too. You know, I mean, that was a grueling fight for both of those.
Absolutely. I think you're going to see. Turner working a lot of that footwork, that in and out movement on the balls of her feet.
We're getting ready to get started here, round one. Kenna going to touch gloves. I would imagine she's going to separate.
The squared up style of Edwards is going to kind of fall into the game plan for Turner, I believe.
Turner actually a little bit more aggressive. She almost threw a kick being a karate instructor.
Man, she's a little off balance there. Edwards is walking forward.
She wants that $1,500. She's cornering her up. She's fighting way more aggressive than she did against Carr already.
Maybe she saved her energy for this second round matchup or finals matchup here.
Kenna doing a good job kind of fighting off her back foot. But the problem is you don't have a whole lot of power when you're just constantly backing up.
No,
it's hard to generate power.
She's got to get her way to get more on the balls of her feet and spring in and out. Kind of like that Wonder Boy Thompson, that Leota Machida style of just in and out movement. She's more flat-footed here in this fight than she was in her first fight, in my opinion. She kind of got a little bit more bounce, but
she had that bounce really kind of in that second round, third round. You know, so maybe we'll see if Kenna gets the jitters out, loosens up.
This
Edwards
is a tough
seems
thing.
more.
You know,
more
when these girls probably maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from their first fight, their first round matchups, and so you get warmed up, you get all excited, you go out there, you have a battle, you have a good fight, and then you know, you got to try to keep that energy level up, or try to, you know, cool down and then warm back up. You know, the body's not used to that fight or flight, you know, just coming up and down, that adrenaline dump up and down. So
this tournament format is kind of like riding a wave. You know, you get in there and you get pumped up, and you know, you win your fight. You want to go hang out with family and everything, but you got a bigger prize at the end, and that's that $1,500 the two young ladies are competing for here.
Brittany Edwards having some fun, waving to the crowd. Turner getting some good instruction from her father before the start of this second round. And we are underway. Touch of gloves.
Start round 2.
Turner's a little bit passive.
She might have felt that power Edwards had. You know, Edwards, even though they're both listed.
Good overhand right there. She's landing her shots, and Edwards is just walking her down.
Edwards looks like she's
circling. I think she needs
Kenna is just on that back foot, you know. But that, tough one-man competition, right? I almost said tough man. That's how
these two ladies are getting after. Edwards is walking forward. Turner's landing some good shots, kind of on her back foot, but I'd like to see her circle a little bit more to the right rather than just circling to the left constantly. Good overhand right there. Edwards is just reaching, and that kind of Shotokan or karate, just controlling distance style is.
Good jab there at the end. And Edwards throws a punch after the bell.
Turner a little fired up.
In a moment now.
Turner's feisty, 19 years old, young lady. Again, she's cornered by her dad. I'm assuming that the gym that they represent,
over there
Turner Shotokan, I believe that's going to be their home gym, where the dad, I'm sure, is the owner. Kina is actually an instructor there. Been doing karate, been doing Shotokan karate for 15 years, so a lot of experience. I'm sure this is not her first competition, so she's a little fired up.
Tell you what, Edwards has the crowd being the hometown person, Columbus, Mississippi. She's got the crowd behind her. They're all on their feet. They're looking forward to seeing what happens here in this third round.
Could it be 1-1? I think it'd easily be 1-1 here going into this last round.
It could. I think Edwards has been an aggressor throughout the first 2 rounds. Kenna really hasn't been able to get that like you mentioned, that bouncing in and out, because Edwards just coming forward. You know?
I gave the second round to Turner. I think she landed more shots. Even on her back foot, she landed more shots.
Right there at the end, they touch gloves here to start round 3. Good jab.
Good jab there. If you look at who's landing the shots, I mean, I know Edwards is coming forward, and
good angle there by Turner.
Turner's circling and landing her shots.
I tell you, Edwards is doing a much better job of, even though she's coming forward being very aggressive, she doesn't look tired. You know, you would think that she'd be very exhausted like the first fight she had, but now I say that she's starting to kind of get flat-footed, and she definitely can't.
Turner ate a right hand there. Firing back.
Yeah, throwing good hard shots.
Edwards loading up. Good right hand there by Turner. I think that kind
lands
of
a good right hand. Edwards
that might have been the blow of the fight.
Good jab there by
probably
Turner.
The punch of the fight. Another good left hook there by Turner.
Wobbly. Good right hand from Turner. Turner has landed left hook.
Right hook. I think that was enough to kind of get the nod for Turner.
I'll tell you what, that was a good fight.
Yeah, I think
that would be a good fight.
Yeah, Brittany really showed a better skill set, I think, in that second fight than she did against Devin in her first fight. So
I think so too. She definitely composed herself a little bit better, and you know, she moved forward, put a lot of pressure on Turner. You know, and Turner, just kind of see if the judges saw those shots that Kenna was landing kind of off her back foot, if you will.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make my way to the ring. I think I'm gonna do an interview with the winner here.
All right, I'm going to stay with you guys here as Joe's making his way to the ring, getting ready to wrap the belt around the winner of this bout, we got Brittany Edwards versus Kenna Turner. They went 3 rounds. We're going to see what the judges think. Very competitive fight. Both fighters looking at each other, kind of with their shoulders shrugged, kind of giving a little dap, little love there. You know, this one could really go either way. As they're showing a little sportsmanship there, kind of talking it out. Great night of fights for both these ladies. You know, winning their first round bouts and then moving here into the finals of our women's open weight bracket, our female class. We've been talking about this belt all night. Now we're going to get to kind of get a look at it here, this pink belt. We got another split decision. Oh, they're going to give the nod to Brittany Edwards, the hometown crowd. Very competitive fight, could have went either way. I think Brittany maybe was more aggressive there. I think the crowd's kind of split on the decision. Maybe doesn't like the decision there, but they're not the judges, and the judges get to make that call. We're going to go to Joe Jiu-Jitsu there with the call in the ring there.
And they will come in, it's got to be live. They go through to come to the home crowd here in Columbus, Mississippi. And we expect you to come out and bring the crowd to the next one. Y'all give it up to the hometown girls and
All right, there you go. Final number 1 taken care of. In our female open bracket, Miss Brittany Boucher Edwards getting the Possum Town Throwdown belt wrapped around her waist. And also getting that $1,500 cash from Mr. C-Pack himself.
That money's going to feel good in that pocket.
Kind of split choice there with the crowd. You know, the crowd kind of had it going both ways. That kind of shows how competitive that fight was, right, Joe?
It was a good matchup. I personally had Turner with getting the nod, but again, I'm not the judge. So congratulations to Brittany Edwards. She was able to put on a good fight for the hometown crowd. And we're moving on to the lightweight final here.
It's all for We'll bring this all together. And he's got a few words. Y'all put our hands together for Mr. Chris Pakasasi.
C-Pack in the ring.
Making a few announcements there.
This is very nice to say, I'm heaven and not right. Listen, the last time I was in this ring about a year ago, I had to get some bad news to everybody. It wasn't a good thing, right? And that broke my heart. But I want to tell every one of y'all here, thank you so very, very much for believing in us to bring good fights to Columbus. We want to be here. We want this Possum Town program to go down more than once a year. Would y'all like to see that happen? We're going to make it happen. But I want to give a big thank you to every single person. I want to give a huge thank you to these two ladies back here that taken a lot of pressure off me. Nikki Brenda. Oh, come on. And Ms. Moore. For they have helped me along with the staff as has run tickets. Stephen Lau, you come through, you're fantastic with the music tonight. Thank you so very much. The t-shirts, the concessions, it takes us a village to make this thing happen. It wasn't just me. I'm just a guy that gets in trouble when things go wrong. But thank you so very, very much. The Columbus Police Department, thank you all very, very much. I'll be ready for the Columbus Police Department. We want you guys on the news every single day. Bad stuff. Bad stuff. And we really appreciate y'all. I mean, they're on. Thank you. The paramedics back here, I'm so glad we haven't had to use you at all. I'm still gonna pay you. It's gonna be good. Because it was a food good tonight, show. It was a drink good tonight, show. Y'all ready to see the rest of the Possum? Let's get on up. Thank you again, and we will be back. It's gonna be sooner than a year from now. I also want to bring out, if y'all have never seen it, Savage Fights, y'all need to look this up. You need to look it up. It's on. They're on every platform of social media. I think you're going to love what you see because I think it's going to be in the area sooner than later. I want you guys to go check it out. Thank you, people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, y'all ready? We are lightweight championship fight. Lightweight championship fight.
All right. After a little word from CPAC, we're back going. Got the lightweight finals coming up. Everybody taking pictures with Brittany, but we got another bout going here. We got 3 more bouts.
3 more bouts to go. The lightweight finals walking to the ring now. Sharquez Cox.
Sharquez Cox taking on Pedro Maciel. Pepe El Toro, the best nickname award for sure. He got knockout of the night. If they had a nickname of the night award, I would definitely give it to Pepe El Toro.
You know, he wrote that down. I was wondering if he put that down as like one long nickname or if it was Pepe and El Toro. I think it was 2 separate nicknames. Maybe I'm wrong.
I know Toro means bull.
He is.
Something to bull, maybe? I don't know what Pepe means. At the study, I had to check that out tonight. I was counting on you to maybe know what Pepe was.
Pepe making the walk. Crowd's still a little bit of a frenzy there after the win from the hometown girl and Brittany Edwards.
We got Sharquez Cox. We got another Columbus, Mississippi native here competing for this lightweight final. Training out of Hood Connected.
Cox is one of those guys that's kind of been gritty enough to edge out his opponents to make it to the finals. Of course, Pepe coming off of a huge knockout over D. Collins in the 2nd round of this lightweight tournament.
Well, Cox is, you know, we saw it a lot tonight. Motivation of competing in an event would be to win the money. And that's what Cox's motivation, he said, was. And he's moments away from doing just that. You know, he has a tall task ahead of him, handling the power of Mr. Pepe. Round 1 begins with a touch of gloves.
Good jab to the body to start off the fight for Pedro. Another one. Cox.
You know, we mentioned earlier about Cox's chin being real high. You know, I don't know if his coach noticed the main punch that Pedro has been throwing all night is that overhand right.
Yeah, he's Cox is fast. He drops his hands a little after he throws. A lot of times he don't come straight back, but he's pretty fast.
But he's definitely got fast hands.
Yeah, he's throwing some good combos on Pedro. Probably one of the faster guys that Pedro's fought so far tonight.
Pedro trying to leap in with that lead hook and maybe land that right hand. He likes to throw that right hand up and maybe land that leaping left hook. And there it goes. It lands. And Cox is on wobbly legs, kind of bouncing off the ring there. Pepe is just had plenty of power all night long. He's brought a lot of power into this ring.
Well, you're looking
at Cox feeling that power right there.
With this wide weight class, you got a gentleman in Cox that's weighing in at 140 pounds, taking on Pedro, who's at the top side of that weight class at 165. So packing a pretty good punch is Pedro. We seen that earlier against D. Collins. You had Sharquez Cox hurt there towards the end.
Let's see what Cox can do, the adjustments he can make right here in the 2nd round. Very good start to the round for Cox, and of course Pedro did what he's been doing all night, kind of landing that equalizer shot there, and now showing him that he has power in both hands.
Cox has got fast hands. He was comboing up on Pedro a little bit. He was landing some, he was starting to accumulate some shots, land some shots. But the problem is he's got to get into Pedro's range in order to land those. So you always got to respect Pedro's power. So See Cox need
Start
to
a
move in
round
and
two
out,
here.
land his shots, and get out of range. Avoid Pedro's power. Good
Pedro
fast
throwing that
start.
big right hand, and
Good
Cox.
fast hands by Cox, though. 1-2, good 1-2.
There's that right hand that we were talking about. Cox just evades that second one.
I would definitely be circling to my right if I was Cox. But we also seen Pedro land a good
right
left
hand
hook.
there.
So
Yeah, Pedro's showing he's got power in both hands. And Cox doing a good job evading those big shots right now.
good jab by Pedro.
Problem
Cox is
is,
durable.
every time Cox throws, he throws that chin up. It's a very bad habit to have.
Cox's game, though, man, he's gritty.
There it is, that
He's
left
a hard
hand right
shot
here.
there.
I think the ropes
Pedro's
kind of
going
held
for the
Cox
finish.
up there. Pedro putting the pressure on right here in front of us.
Cox got to get
good
himself
shot
off
to
the
the
ropes.
body, and that's the end of round two.
A good round 2 for Pedro. Good fight. Cox a durable, gritty guy. Especially taking on.
That round was a little bit closer than that first round. Obviously no knockdowns in that round. Do you think Pedro still edged that round out?
Probably so, but I think Sharquez had his moments. Cox had his moments. He's got a lot. He's got fast hands, real quick combos. He's just got to be able to use his footwork to move in and out a little bit better to try to avoid Pedro's power.
And for an unorthodox guy, Cox has fared very well in this tournament. Like you said, that durability, but we're moving here to round 3 in our lightweight final. Pedro Maciel versus Sharquez Cox, Mr. Taliban. See if
Round 3 between Cox and Pedro. Cox is on the balls with his feet. Really needs to combo up here, throw some fast hands.
Seen Pedro hurt tonight.
He's durable.
Just as durable as
He
well.
plops forward. He throws heavy shots. It's a hard guy to contend with.
We talked about it in his first fight. Good footwork. There he does. Good job landing that right hand. Cox is on his horse.
Good body shot there by Pedro.
Oh, good right
heavy.
hand.
And
Cox takes
counters.
it, throws back.
Looks like he kind of landed a couple shots there, had Pedro thinking about it. Cox is hanging in there, making a good
Pedro
show.
also does a good job cutting the ring off, right?
Good shots landed there by Cox.
A good job cutting the ring off there. Cox kind of lands his shots and gets out of there. He wants nothing to do with that big right hand left hook. And El Toro putting him in the corner, trying to put the stamp on this third round, and that's going to come to a conclusion there. And now our men's lightweight will move to a decision.
Good showing by both fighters.
Say.
Good showing by both fighters.
Absolutely. This
Quiz Cox comes out. Again, one of the lighter guys in the lightweight bracket, making a good showing against Pedro here.
Both these guys have had a fantastic night. They're just moments away to find out if they did enough to get the nod from the judges.
I'm going to step in and have a word with the winner.
As Joe steps away to go interview our winner, we're waiting the judges to tally their scorecards here and see who's the winner between Sharquez Cox and Pedro Pepe El Toro. Pedro Maciel. Crowd starting to get a little rambunctious. We go to the Raging Cajun for the call in the ring.
Josh, man, what's going on? You had some great fight.
As they announce Pedro Pepe El Toro Maciel as the winner.
Man, he
We're
had
gonna
to
go
knock out of the night.
He did. He's thrown heavy shots all night.
$100 in the pocket. You gotta feel good about your performance tonight. We talked about the commentary, I know you probably didn't hear it, but we're giving you some sheet to fill out. You said, no training experience, but you showed a great skill set tonight. First time boxing. Can we expect you back? I guess we can expect you back with the 50 title here at the next Possum Throwdown. Y'all do it all for Pedro and Seal.
This is the one time coming up with your lightweight champion, Pedro.
Your lightweight champion, Pedro Pepe El Toro Maciel, takes home the Possum Town Throwdown belt and also 15 crisp $100 bills. Great night for Pedro. Mr. Cox needs to keep his head high too. That was a few minor adjustments Cox makes. He could be a contender here in this series. I mean,
He's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. Another close fight there in our lightweight final. Moving forward to our middleweight final, you got Quatavius Blunt, Mr. Q, another hometown guy, Columbus, Mississippi, taking on Jamal Roby.
Entering the ring
No
first,
Limit Row.
Q Blunt.
Quatavius has looked good all night long. Young man fighting out of Columbus, Mississippi.
He is Jamal Roby.
No Limit Row making his way
Our boy
to the
Jamal
ring
Roby
to
coming
fight
out.
for $1,500 in that Possum Town Throwdown belt.
And don't forget, he already got a $250 bonus for fight of the night earlier with his second round fight against B.J. Williams. So Roby giving some dab to the
I'll tell you what,
young men
you know,
sitting next ringside.
and we've seen it all night from Roby. His ability to fight from the clinch, his ability to make his opponent wear his weight. You know, we mentioned it earlier in his first round fight, fighting the lighter opponent, and he actually I talked to his opponent from the first round in the back there, and he actually mentioned, he said, man, I could feel his size, you know, and strength there, and said it was hard to keep his endurance up. And Roby, as we start round one, really fast across the ring.
He takes the center of the ring. He wants to control ring.
Yeah, he's aggressive.
Quatavius
Right back to what he's done all night, pushing Q back up against the ring ropes.
going right to work on Q's body. Q's done a good job controlling range throughout the night, so I'm interested to see how he does against Roby.
Well, I tell
Roby
you,
landing that patented uppercut to the body, right uppercut to the
Oh,
body.
good
Good overhand right.
hand, though.
I think he might have Blunt hurt in the ring in the corner, up on the ropes. And Q's hurt.
oh, good right
I think
hand
the ref
from
was trying to
Roby.
stop
Referee trying to make it a standing 8 count. Putting Roby into the corner there. Q looks a little shook
An 8
up,
count
maybe
for-
looking towards his cornerman. I'm not sure what he's.
I think he was trying
Roby's
to figure out
coming
what's going
straight
on there.
at him.
Roby looking to finish this fight
Roby
early.
smelled blood in the
Only
water.
a couple seconds left in this first round, and Blunt's on his horse, trying to get on his bicycle, trying to get away from Roby there. So a good showing there in the first round for Jamal Roby.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Jamal Roby lost in the semifinals, either the semifinals or the finals Southern Hand Slugs Fest we mentioned here earlier, and I believe he lost the decision there. He's definitely looking to not leave this fight in the judges' hands, right? He's looking to
Think about
finish.
it, as his nights went on, he hasn't had any easy draws. You know, he got the close decision against B.J. Williams in the second round. He talked to his first round opponent, who was another tough guy. So, you know, he hasn't had the easiest path here to the finals, but here he is against Quatavius Blunt. Q's had a great night as well. We can see who can
Start
close it
round
out
two.
here.
See if he can make the adjustments here. Q needs to do in round two. He's got to move. He can't let Roby push him around.
Now, Roby coming out quickly in the southpaw stance.
See Q once again
Yeah,
kind of having
Blunt
his backs against the ropes.
Blunt trying to fight his way to the center. Doing a pretty good job.
Oh, he's kind of trying to line up that right hand.
I think Roby wants to throw that left, straight left.
Roby fighting a little bit more controlled here in the second round. Oh, good. Oh, he put him down. He's down. That's going to be the fight. I don't think he's going to answer the call. Roby excited. His corner, Q's corner telling him to stand up.
Q beats the count. Q beats the count.
I don't know. This kid's about to get hurt. I think the referee got to do his job there. It's not going to take much.
Yeah, stop it.
There you go.
Good stoppage by the referee.
I think the referee had to stop that.
Good showing by Roby. Good showing by Roby throughout the night.
Good showing by Q.
Yeah, I think
he had a great night. Roby just big. He's a big man, big, strong guy with a lot of talent. And he showed it there, kind of doing what he did best and pushing Q around. Get the second round finish there.
Step in and talk to Roby here.
Jamal Roby getting the nod here, getting the second round finish, and a great hand, great left hand. Put Q back, put Q down once again. Katavius Blunt had a great night, but it comes to an end here tonight in our middleweight final versus Jamal Roby. As we wait for the commission, we don't need the judges for this one. Like we mentioned, Jamal Roby kind of putting the stamp on things, and he said he wasn't leaving this in the judges' hands. Jamal Roby, Starkville firefighter, said he actually has to go into work in the morning, and I guess he's buying lunch tomorrow because he's going to have 15 crisp $100 bills in his pocket. And I'll make sure I'm calling some of my buddies down there at Starkville Fire and let them know that Jamal's bringing lunch money tomorrow, right? Hey, you got lunch money tomorrow for the fire? Jamal kind of giving a little shout out there. He definitely brought the power all night. We're going to go to the Raging Cajun for the center of the cage, and then we'll go to Joe for the in-ring interview with Jamal No Limit Roby.
Into the second round. By knockout. I'm going to step in and have a word with Mr. No Limit Jamal Roby, fellow firefighter, representing HM Fireside of Virginia, Mississippi. I was fortunate enough to see you a few weeks ago, and I think a couple times before that, performed at Southern Hand Sunfest, and I was fortunate enough to get to see you again tonight. Got to be feeling good about the victory? Feeling great. Whatever you want to do, don't let nobody stop you from chasing your dream. Don't never stop. I don't care. Keep going. So that's what you put down as your motivation. Just show people all you got to do is follow your dreams and believe in yourself, right? So you came in, got the job done. Can we see you at the next Possum Throwdown? Ready to defend this title? Every chance I get. So y'all give it up for Mr. No Jamal Roby, the middleweight champion.
All right. Middleweight champion Jamal Roby getting all the love from the fans. Getting a little interview with Joe Jitsu. And we are moving to our heavyweight finals, the big boys. Ian Scott, Joseph Foreman, a guy who fought in the first round. He took the L by decision versus Tank, Holden Fields, and Scott. And so then Holden not be able to continue in the tournament. They made the decision to bring Joseph Foreman back, and he did not hesitate. He said he's just happy to come back in here and show what he can do and have a chance to compete for this Possum Town Throwdown belt and $15 $100 bills at $1,500 and possibly a $500 knockout of the night. We got Ian Scott coming to the ring first. Ian the Bear Scott, who has already fought twice tonight, won both fights.
So we're going to close out a great night of fights here with a heavyweight battle between Ian Scott, Joseph Foreman. Again, as you mentioned, Foreman making his way back in the tournament after Fields had fell out. So we're going to see what he can get done here. That's what's cool about this format, man. He come in and now he's got a chance to win $1,500. So the ups and downs of the night, it's got to be a up and down roller coaster of emotions here for Foreman as he's back in action here in the ring, ready to take on Ian Scott.
Even after his first fight, it was a gritty fight. They were throwing heavy hands. I think that's what we're about to see as it started round one here.
Foreman walking forward, loading up that left hand. He's trying to put it on Scott.
And once again,
Scott's
notice
on the back foot. These guys walking down.
These guys choosing not to wear headgear.
They just noticed that. Complaining about a hit to the back of the head.
But you cannot stop fighting until the ref breaks you up there. And,
I believe Ian Scott and the referee has had quite a few conversations
all night,
tonight.
have they?
No, they have not.
And this is just a kind of a pushing war. Foreman trying to impose his size.
Yeah. Scott's got to stand his ground. Scott's got to stand his ground against the bigger man.
341 pounds. That is a big, big man.
He's giving up 110 pounds to this guy.
Scott.
Foreman's putting it on Scott here.
Scott trying to get out of his head,
trying to get out of there. And
he did not like that. He's still
interesting first round.
About getting hit in the back of the head.
Interesting first round here.
Is this the first final we've had with no headgear? I believe so.
I think so, yeah, I think so.
These guys electing, the big men electing, hey, look, we don't need headgear, leave that in the back. Let's strap these 12-ounce gloves on, and let's strap it up. Let's see who's the better man, right? Who can take the better punch. Once again, Ian Scott, his cornerman with the patented hole in the bottle, drinking out the bottom of the bottle. Ian Scott, he's exhausted. He's going to have to dig deep right here.
Yeah, he's got to dig deep against the bigger guy.
Well, I mean, you think, Foreman, even though he lost the first round, he didn't fight in the second round, so he could be the fresher fighter. Ian Scott, it's a war of attrition.
Third fight of the night, right, for Ian Scott, and only the second fight of the night for Foreman. So that's the wear and tear of this tournament.
Ian Scott kind of giving Foreman the nod here at the start of round two. A little sportsmanship there, but
and he puts the big man down.
I
don't know if that was a trip.
The referee did not see it as a trip. He's giving him the count. He don't even give him 8.
I believe Foreman waved it off. He's ready to get back in action.
Good right hand. These guys are clubbing. They're coming to the corner. Two big, strong guys.
No angles. No angles getting cut here. Just walking forward. I think we got a hair tie on the mat from Foreman.
That is Foreman.
And these guys are putting it all out there, leaving it all out there here. Final fight.
Kind of guard, Foreman's just kind of walking forward. Ian's having a hard time dealing with that size.
Foreman.
I think both these guys are exhausted.
Wild fight here in our heavyweight finals between Ian Scott and Joseph Foreman.
We get ready. The ring girl indicates round 3, our final round of the night. Whether it goes the distance or not, we are down here. It's our final round. Great night of fights. And we are moments away. We're 1 minute away from seeing who is our heavyweight champion.
So let's see who's going to take it here. Can we expect a finish in this last round?
I'm not sure. Both these guys are very, very durable. You know, Scott put Foreman down there in the second round. Scott, I don't believe, has been put down all night. I think he's, you know, you're talking about a heavyweight division where guys are throwing a lot of power. He's done a very good job getting through this tournament, getting to where he's at now. And he's got 1 minute left. I don't know what he said right there to Foreman, but
I don't know. I think touch gloves maybe. Green to touch gloves, and what
comes out
there?
with a big right hand. Foreman with the
with the
hair.
back of the head there.
Foreman with the Clay Guida hair.
It's got to be affecting his vision, but come back over the top with a left hand. Looks like he got Scott on his bicycle a little bit. But
Scott throwing a big right hand, trying to close us out here. Foreman with the tie up. Scott turning around. He got to turn around. He's got to put the pressure on here.
Scott went to his corner.
What he's doing.
That's not what he wanted to do here against Foreman.
This guy,
Foreman fell out the ring.
falls out of the ring. These guys are exhausted, man. A long night of fights. That war of attrition we talked about. Somebody's mouthpiece goes in the first row. The referee calls time. If they don't stop the clock, this is going to be it.
I believe they stopped it. I would hope they would stop it. I would hate for the night to end.
Yeah, I'm looking at the corner, the commissioner.
I believe he
there.
stopped
He's
it. He issued a timeout. So I believe he stopped the clock so we can end it.
There we go. We got about 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds maybe left. And they touch gloves, 10 seconds to be exact.
This is a tough one to call.
They have left it all in the ring here tonight in our heavyweight final. That's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
You know,
got to give it to Foreman, man. Coming back off the bench. Lost in that close fight against Fields in the first round. Coming back and making this final competitive against Ian Scott. Ian Scott didn't have an easy path either. His third fight of the night. So we're going to see who's going to get the nod here.
Are you going to make your way to the cage, do an interview, make your way to the ring? Sorry. Close it out tonight as we await our judge's decision for this heavyweight final. Guys, we had a great time tonight here at Possum Town Throwdown. It's been long. Great night of fights. I believe all these guys left everything they had in the ring. And we are moments away from seeing who the winner of our heavyweight final is here tonight. The winner of the Possum Town Throwdown belt and $1,500 cash money. We've got another split decision. Joseph Foreman's going to get the nod coming back from the loser's bracket and punching his ticket and getting those $1,100 bills in that Possum Town Throwdown belt. We're going to go to Joe to get our final interview of the night.
Lost a very close fight in the first round. We were able to come back after we were able to the finals here. Got to be feeling good to be the heavyweight champion here at the Possum Town Throwdown.
Yes, sir, it does. It's the home field. Biggest one.
You left it all out in the ring.
Yes, sir.
You got to get the next division, winning this heavyweight belt.
Yes, sir.
Y'all give it up to Joseph Foreman and all the buddies that are here tonight. Thank you all for coming out. Y'all have a great night. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight to Possum Town Throwdown. Ladies and gentlemen, please be careful on the drive.
Joseph Foreman just announced as our heavyweight champion of the night. Joe making his way back over here. We close out here for the night. Possum Town Throwdown, Columbus, Mississippi. We got 4 new Possum Town Throwdown champions. Great night of fights. What'd you think, Joe?
Like you said, great night of fights. I'm looking forward to seeing all 4 champs come back, defend that belt in the next Possum Town Throwdown that they're going to hold here in Columbus, Mississippi.
Brittany Edwards won the women's division. We got Pedro Pepe El Toro winning the lightweight division.
Mr. Masil, the lightweight champ.
Jamal No Limit Roby
Man,
winning the middleweight.
I bragged on Roby all night long. I was really happy to see him finally kind of, get that recognition and get that final victory that I think kind of eluded him a couple times in the Southern Hand Slugfest. So I was really happy to see him get the win in the finals there. And then, Joseph Foreman, again, the up and down roller coaster of events there, or emotions, getting knocked out in the first round and getting a chance to come back and compete in the finals and the championship. So excited to see him getting a comeback and just a good all-around great night of fights.
Absolutely. Had a good time here at Possum Town Throwdown here at Columbus Fairgrounds, Columbus, Mississippi.
I want to thank CPAC for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you, CPAC, for having the Savage Fight crew. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be follow Savage Fights social media. Also follow Possum Town Throwdown. They got a social media. They got a CPAC's got a good thing going down here and or up here. Well, I hope he continues to put these shows on, and hopefully we'll see you guys again, maybe in a new place. But fighters will be the same. They'll come out. They're gonna throw it all on the line for that Possum Town Throwdown belt and that crisp cash money.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you.